What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What's going on? It is Friday, July 25th, 2025, year of our Lord. It's almost over. Almost up with July. July is almost over. I want to give a shout out to my dog, Robert Banks. I appreciate you. Also want to shout out Mike That Dude. Shout out to Mike That Dude. Also, Spencer Campbell. Thank you, Spencer Campbell, for holding us down. What's up, chat? How y'all feeling? What's going on? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Man, it is rough. It is rough. Anton, what is so rough? Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is rough. Yes. My voice is low? Is my voice low? Y'all think my voice is low? Is my voice low? Hopefully my voice is not too low. Yeah, I feel cool. I feel cool outside of wanting to get back to my studio. Oh my God. Oh, wanting to get back to the studio because I am telling you that phenomenal Wi-Fi is a blessing. Phenomenal Wi-Fi. It's my morning voice. Yeah, this is my morning voice. This is the voice you have when you haven't said anything since you woke up, but it'll go back to regular once you, man, listen, not even regular Wi-Fi, phenomenal Wi-Fi, phenomenal Wi-Fi. No. I got the Starlink. The Starlink is cool. Listen, MiFi's, hotspots, Starlinks, those are all serviceable, right? Even hotel Wi-Fi is serviceable. But back at the studio, it's like that fiber. Oh my God. No, Starlink is good. Starlink is 10 times better than what my other options are. Like I said, I think that it's serviceable. I think it's cool. But you know, this is one of those because I probably up and down between streaming and large files and large videos and all of that stuff. Yes, Starlink did go down yesterday. It absolutely went down yesterday. And when Starlink went down, I went and took a nap. And I was like, you know what? This is a headache because it's just like a regular business, right? Whether you doing an internet business, whatever, or you doing streaming, or you got a restaurant or whatever it is, right?
let me tell you something. No matter what, people want their product. And so people expect for you to stream. They expect for you to deliver. They expect for your videos to drop. They expect for you to do whatever it is that you got to do. So what you doing is basically moving around and moving and shaking and having stuff go on. So like, for example, yesterday after I got off the live stream, like an hour after I got off the live stream, Starlink had went down. Like they, whatever the satellites, whatever is going on, it went down, right? So now I got all of this stuff set. I got all of this stuff filed. Now, thankfully, I was proactive and I had already had a bunch of stuff already uploaded and set to release and all of that stuff. So I didn't have any interruption. Like my stuff went out like normal. I didn't have no problems, no trouble. So on y'all end and on the receiving end of the people, as far as the content that y'all consume or the live streams, y'all never gonna notice no changes because I'm always ahead. I'm always on top of things, right? But I couldn't really do nothing throughout the day except for get stuff together and settle it. So I went and took a nap. And then a little later, like 2 or 3 hours before my live stream later at that night, then everything was back normal and everything was back working or whatever, right? So that was popping. And but then overnight, when I have everything go to the cloud to make sure that everything is good, you basically got to let everything go up overnight and upload, and you got to wake up in the morning and hope everything go well. I ain't got to do none of that when I'm at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do none. It's almost like you need to go home so you can reset. And I don't have to deal with none of that when I'm at the crib. So when you go home, everything is like this. You know what I'm saying? You uploading 5 GB, 6 GB files in 2 minutes. And it's just like there. Whereas if you out, first of all, if you just on a home Wi-Fi, you dead. You dead in the water. You might as well just take a vacation. Ain't no point in streaming. Ain't no point in doing nothing. But if you are like, let's just say, for example, you're on a MiFi or you on a hotspot or you got Starlink or something like that, is way better, but it take a whole lot longer. You know what I'm saying? What could take you, 1.5, 2 minutes could take 25, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now you got to plan more effectively. Now you got to try to figure out how to get stuff done. And it's just like, oh, I'll tell you right now. Let me tell you how my mind works from a business perspective. I know that I got to catch a flight tomorrow, right? And I also know that there's a time difference. So now I'm planning in my mind, okay, what all do I need to get done today so that I can make sure that everything is straight when I'm on my flight tomorrow? Because I got to take a 4 hour flight home so that I can make sure that everything still goes, regularly while I'm in the air or while I'm doing this, because I know I can't upload nothing on the phone, but I could change some stuff. So it's always like Tetris. You know what I'm saying? You play Tetris with your schedule. You playing Tetris with the business. I know that I got to land and then I got to go and meet with this person and I got to issue this person a check, but I'm flying out on Saturday. So that means I got to make sure that I go to the bank here maybe, or you see what I'm saying, in order to be able to get some money out so that I can give somebody a check for the weekend, because I'm not going to land till Saturday afternoon. And then I got to take another flight on Monday. So everything is just like, all right, this is why I tell y'all a lot of times, as y'all grow and as y'all become more successful, that you guys need to make sure that your calendar is airtight. If your calendar is not airtight, then I get a call this morning from the concierge doctor and they like, Anton, we want to do an appointment. Okay, first thing you do is pull up the schedule. You got to do your regular, your next checkup. Okay, when is my next checkup going to be? A couple months on a Wednesday. Okay, I can only do a Wednesday because it has to be afterward. Well, we don't want to get out any later than 3 o'clock. All right, make it 3 o'clock, because now I'm thinking about, okay, I got to make sure that my live stream go at least to maybe like 2:30. So y'all got to have a schedule. And if you can, right, get to a point, and I told y'all this before, I'm going to tell y'all again, and then we're going to get into the show. If you can, get you a personal assistant. It's worth the investment. When you get to a certain level, the first thing that I will hire when I got money, when I get money, if I get money today, like if you're a person that's on the come up and you're trying to figure out okay, what is it that I need to buy? I wouldn't buy a car. I wouldn't buy a chain. Wouldn't go get a watch. Wouldn't go buy a new house. The first thing that I would invest in is, and when I get money, is a personal assistant. That's the first thing that I would do if I got money. All right, cool. I need to make sure that I simplify my life. Now, here's the hack, right? And this is what for all of the people that understand women. If and I told y'all this before too. If you got a woman that's solid in your life, whatever role she play, put her to work. Make sure she manage your calendar. But see, now you got to trust her. Because see, she gonna have access to your stuff. She gonna have access to your emails. She gonna have access to certain accounts and all of that stuff. And so, if you got a woman somewhere that you think can play a role or that you can trust, put her to work. Hey, baby girl, can you help me out? They love working for you. They love doing stuff. They love to add value into your life. And that's gonna make her that's gonna make her really like you. She gonna really feel you because she gonna feel like she getting closer to you. Oh my God, we're so close. Oh no, we're so close. Anton, how do you vet personal assistants to know if they're going to be effective? Because usually you know them. Any personal assistant I hire would have to be a woman that I know. That's what I would do. Any personal assistant that I hire, it would be a woman that I know. I would not hire a personal assistant that's just out on the street. Hey, can I? This is why it's important for y'all to be social. Y'all want to be in these isolated caves, only you. I don't like to talk to people. I'm introverted. I'm antisocial. Wearing the shirts that say antisocial social club. That ain't going to help you. That's only going to hinder you. Antisocial social club. I only like to be cave mindset. Listen, I understand if you want to go into monk mode for a little bit in order to get your life together because everything is messed up. But I'm talking about like real life situations. You're going to have to get out and meet people and interact and have, you know what I'm saying? And then you're going to find the people that's supposed to surround you. It's people, bro, you can't grow unless you have solid people around you. Not the way that you're supposed to. I have a whole community. I got a whole army of people that I can select from that I can tap into. The bag chasers, you know what I'm saying? People that text me your car. He give me insight to certain things every single day. Let me know what I need to be paying attention to. Maybe it's something that I'm not familiar with that's happening in the culture. He runs he runs and controls what happens in the Discord. I don't have to worry about that because I have people that I trust, you know what I'm saying, that just naturally we've attracted ourselves to each other as far as how it is that we supposed to be moving. And so, it's people around me that add value into my life. You know what I'm saying? He one of the real ones. He do it. And so, he can take care of certain things. And then I got other people that take care of this and other people that take care of that. And so it's not that I was like, oh man, I need to go hire somebody. It's more or less like, yo, this person really holding me down or they already took in control of this. Let me just go ahead and leverage that as much as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you get in line. You got to get some people around you that's dope. You got to get some people around you that's dope. And so the only way that you can do that is getting active. You got to get active. And it's not nothing that you intentionally do. You just start to put people in place that already are in place and they, you know what I'm saying? You just be like, yo, that's dope. Absolutely dope. So, I just you got to get outside. And if you're not outside meeting people and interacting with people, you're going to be limiting yourself. But you don't even know that you're limiting yourself because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know the people that you're missing out on as a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not outside, you think that you okay. But you don't realize that it was a person that you were supposed to meet outside that was supposed to add value into your life, but you never met him. But what you don't know, you don't know. So you just missed out on the blessing and you think you cool. And that's the thing that people really don't understand about life. That's the thing that people don't understand about life. You miss out on your blessing but you don't know that you missed out. So you still think that you're doing good, but you're supposed to be incredible. Oh no, my life is good. I ain't worried about it. That's because you don't know what the other side feel like. You missed out on that train. You missed out on your blessing. You don't know. And you'll never know. And that's why they say what you don't know don't hurt you. I think differently. I need all of my blessings. A lot of people think that they doing great, but you are suffering. You just don't know that you poor. You just don't know that you didn't meet the person that you were supposed to meet. But because you so stuck in your own ways, because you so used to prison food, you think that that's good because your palate has adjusted to whatever that is. It's another world out there. You think you're doing good, but you're not. You poor in the eyes of other people. Oh, I'm satisfied. I just want to be content. I don't. I want to live my life to the fullest, and I want all of the blessings that God got for me. Because I didn't even realize that life was so much better on this side until I got on this side. But when I was on the other side, I thought that I was doing good, but I wasn't. I was doing good amongst my group that was all poor. And that's why I just laugh when I see people that say stuff sometimes, you this, it's like you don't even know what you're missing out on. You don't even know the blessing that you're supposed to have, but you just stomped on yourself. You just stopped yourself in your own blessings in its tracks. So, it is what it is. Shout out to Kisme Grit says, what up, AD? Did you see Trump pull up to the Fed office to look at new renovations to the building and then asking the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, let me holler at you for a second, big dog? Yep. I seen it. I haven't seen it. I seen it like on my timeline and in my emails and stuff like that. And so I figured that I'll go ahead and review that with you guys today. All right. If you don't necessarily have a reason to be outside, what can you do at that point? Where can you go to meet folks besides the bar? Listen, y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You don't have to go out to intentionally meet people. You go out and you're active. You know? You're just outside. You're doing stuff. You're busy. And then you naturally meet people because you make sure that you have a friendly disposition and a demeanor. So when you go out and you know what I'm saying, you just active and you doing stuff and you interacting with people on a regular basis, you're going to naturally meet people, but you just got to do stuff that you're not used to doing. You got to go places every single week. It used to be every day. I just don't have the time now. But every single week, people wonder why I used to get so much vlog footage. And it's because I was just curious about what was outside. I needed to drive down a street that I never seen before. I wanted to go into a store. I never went to the same grocery store in the week. If I needed to go get something, I went to a different grocery store in a different neighborhood because I wanted to see what it was like. I would, drive my motorcycle because I would see stuff I'd never seen before. I needed to go drive down certain streets that I never knew before. You know what I'm saying? I was always aware, oh man, this new spot is open up. This new spot is opening up in the city. I would go and walk. I went down to the Quinder Cut. I went to see different things. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're just naturally out, you meet people, you interact with people. A lot of y'all go to the gym, right? You don't speak to nobody in the gym. You just go and you leave, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? You don't speak to the lady at the front desk. She's probably going to see you a couple of times and then give you some hints and some updates on what's going on. I always kick it with the people that's at the valet that's in my building, or the concierge, or the lady. It's a couple girls that sit in that be in the lobby a little early or whatever, or late at night because they be kicking it with each other, and so they done developed a little friend group. Some women that's in the lobby, and so hey, what's going on, ladies? What's happening? How y'all feel? I could be going into my place, or I could be coming down in order to go out, catch a flight. I take 5 minutes, I go and speak with them, and they give me all the information, all the game. Did you see that, Anton? Did you see that rapper that just moved into here? No, what you talking about? What rapper? Then they always do like this. I don't know if I should be telling you this. What you mean? What's going on? What's she talking about? So then You talk to the other girl that she want to tell you, and so the other girl gonna tell her to tell you. What's she talking about? Why she acting like she don't want to say nothing? What's she talking about? I'm gonna let her tell you. I'm gonna let her tell you. You talk to people, they'll tell you everything. They can't wait for you to get it. They can't wait for you to ask them. They just want you to be a little bit more insightful. Oh, I love them sandals you got on. What's going on? Oh, so now, you see my sandals now. You want to go get some sandals? Boy, I wasn't thinking about you. I wasn't thinking about you. What you talking about? What y'all got going on? What's happening? They tell you everything. They tell you everything. You have to learn how to be social. You have to learn how to talk to people. Conversation is an art. Learn how to talk to people. Go speak. Say hi. Say what up. They tell you everything. Meet so many people. Meet so many people. That's how I wound up meeting the owner of the building that was building next door in the building that owned. And he gave me his tickets. He gave me his tickets. He said, Anton, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for you. Because I had spoke to him. We had kicked it one day, and he said, I've been looking for you, Anton. I've been looking for you. And I said, what's going on? Listen, I'm not gonna make the game. Which the Lakers game. The Lakers game last year that was at Little Caesars Arena. He got the best seats. He has in my opinion, he has the best seats in there, even better than mine. And so he was like, here, you know what I'm saying? Here, hey, and give me a call. So then I met him, took his seats. I sat in his seats in order to go to the Lakers game or whatever. And then the next time that I went to the game, I seen him, and so we wound up sitting next to each other because my seats was literally right there. And then that's when we started chopping it up. We started talking about certain businesses, and he was telling me that it was a hotel that he's building that he wants to try to get open by 2026 because we got the NCAA Final Four and all of this other stuff. So you'll start to find stuff, right? You'll start to see who moving, who's shaking. Next thing you know, they know what you do. They want you to come in on a deal because you can bring more visibility to what they got going on because they understand your platform is really huge. Then that's when you make your pitch. Well, listen, I want to be a partner in what you got going on. I don't want to just, you know what I'm saying? You can't pay me because it's not about the money. It's about the relationship. Let's figure out how we can build this together. You know what I'm saying? I can bring equity. How about you raise the price just slightly here, spread that cost around to other people, bring me in as a partner, and that way you're not taking a hit financially. You're not really giving up nothing. But then I got equity and I'm more incentivized in order to make sure that I push this thing because it's not like you just paying me without anything in return. We benefit, you benefit. This is how we gonna move and this is how we gonna shake. And then we gonna go in. And if this deal works out, let's figure out how we can do the next deal a little bit differently. All right, cool. Yeah. That makes sense. And that's when y'all start talking. You do that whole negotiation right there on the court. You do that whole negotiation right there on the court. But guess what? You're not in the room. How can you pitch? How can you even see what the opportunities are if you're not in the room? If you're not there because you don't want to self-improve, you don't want to get your money up, you're not interested in talking to nobody, you in a silo, you don't never want to open yourself up, you don't want to go outside, you don't want to meet people, you don't know. I guarantee you walk past millionaires every single day. Almost every time that I take a solo flight and I sit first class, almost every time I meet somebody unique. I met the girl that runs the Monster Jam the other day. I'm like, because I thought that the guy that was with her, because it was a guy that sat in the seat behind her in the first class. And so I'm like, oh no, y'all could sit together. So, no, I see him every day. Some white girl, right? Some white lady. I see him every day. So I start doing my thing. And I always make sure when I'm working on a plane and I'm doing all of my content, I make sure that I turn my screen up so that the people behind me can be nosy and that the person next to me can be nosy. And they say, what is it that I seen your stuff. You do a lot of views. And I'm just messing around. I'm nobody. And I asked them, what are you doing? Why are you going out here to California? Oh, I gotta go help with the Monster Jam out there in Utah and California. What? Wait a minute. What you doing with the Monster Gym? Oh yeah, I kind of oversee what happens, and then you just start meeting people, and you start realizing that, oh, okay, this person is cool, whatever. Then they want to exchange information and all of that stuff, right? So that's how I meet most of the people. I'm just out and about. I'm just out and about, and people just attract themselves. And people that have resources, I'm gonna just tell you, this is the honest to God truth. They don't care about your race. They don't care about whether you're a man or a woman. They don't care about anything except for if you're a nice person, if you can fit in with what it is that they got going on, if you're easy to talk to, and if you can add value to the group. That's people that have money. It is the biggest misconception that somebody is plotting to stop you. People that have resources don't have time to focus on you. They spend majority of their time focusing on them. People that have money and resources, they don't have time to figure out how they can stop the poor. The poor people don't even come in the purview of a person that has resources. They're trying to figure out how they can make more money, and they so busy working and they so busy grinding, and then they try to fit family in there between it, and then they trying to figure out how it is that they can run up a bigger bag. So they just align themselves with other people that just become more successful. Poor people focus on rich people. Rich people focus on getting richer. Poor people focus on rich people. They focus on the system, and they spend all of their time talking about nothing that they don't actually generate no revenue from. Rich people talk about how they can go and get more money, and they align themselves with other rich people, and it ain't based off of race or any of that. It's based off of class and socioeconomic status. Poor poor people count rich people's money. Rich people count their own money. Poor people are obsessed with trying to figure out how much rich people make. Rich people are obsessed with trying to figure out how they can get richer. It's the honest to God truth, bro. It's so true. They are not trying to figure out how to make you poor. They don't care. They genuinely don't see you. They don't see you at all. I don't like it. Man, you think, let me ask y'all a question, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. Do you think that rich people are sitting there talking about the Epstein files? Or do you think that they're trying to figure out whether or not the tax cuts is going to hit them so that they can leverage it in order to generate more revenue in their business? I promise you that in no social circles are they trying to figure out who's in the goddamn Epstein files. They're trying to figure out whether or not this 900-page tax bill document makes the most sense and what state that they need to move their business to. They don't care about the stuff that y'all care about. They don't care about whether or not Emmanuel Macron's wife is got a penis or if it got a coochie. They don't care. That is entertainment only. It has no value to their life. They don't talk about it. I honest to God tell you that it has no value to them. We obsess over dumb stuff. We talk about that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They're probably meeting with a mayor or a city council member to try to figure out how they can push something through. Yeah, we used to call it coochie. Girl, put that little coochie up. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get started with the show? It's enough people in here. Shout out to Kisme Grits. Appreciate you. Sarge says, top of the morning, AD. Appreciate your grind. Appreciate you, Sarge. Eric D says, awesome after hours show last night. The debate between Mika and Carrie on Candace was excellent. Yeah, Mika is a really great asset. Carrie is a great asset. I love everybody that's a part of the group. I love them. I love them. I think that every last one of them are awesome. 1000%. Terrence says, I recommend if you are trying to meet people, urban leagues, Rotary clubs, Black NBA Association, Toastmasters, ton of single people. Street Blog says, Anton, you motivate me like an uncle. Hopefully I give you some kind of game. Solution Trucking says, I don't think y'all realize how much game he's giving just on some dry-ish. And this is why I joined the Bag Chasers almost 2 years ago. Shout out to the Patreon members. B Nice says, I've been making $200,000 for about 5 years now, and I've been trying to break through the ceiling. This is exactly what I needed to hear. When you get to a certain level financially, it's going to be less about how much you make on your job and more about how much you can allocate towards investments. That's where you're going to make your big money at, bro. And it's going to seem small at first. Man, I'm putting this money in this. Man, I'm making these investments. When you get to a certain level, for y'all that make a lot of money, for you high income earners, when you get to 250, that's when you got to start really focusing on where it is that you can allocate your money for a lot of different reasons. I'm not going to go into a whole nother tangent. 250, you're going to hit a ceiling because the pyramid go like this. What's up, baby? The pyramid go like this, meaning that it's much more difficult because there's less positions at the top. So it's a lot more competitive. You still got to grind, but you got to start moving your money around a little bit more. That's how you then get to the next level. That's how you get to the next level, all right? Got to start moving your money up. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. I appreciate everybody that contributes into the platform. I guess we'll start with Glorilla. Rich people absolutely talk about how much money they make. Rich people absolutely talk about how much money they make. They don't talk about it amongst poor people because they know that y'all hate them. Red Podcast says, good morning, AD and chat. Love y'all. Stay blessed. What up, Mika? Y'all can catch Mika tonight on After Hours. It's going to be dope. Rich people absolutely talk about money all the time. As a matter of fact, a lot of times that's the only thing that we be talking about. The conversation always transitions into how it is that we can make some more money. Yeah, they absolutely talk about what they can do and how they can move stuff around. I don't know who told you that. I don't know why people got all these theories that they can't prove about rich people. They're not a monolith. There's a lot of rich people that do a lot of things. They're not a monolith. All right, I'm going to continue to read super chats in a minute, but let's go ahead and get into this conversation. Glow. Yeah, Glow. Yeah, Glow. Glorilla. Arrested after they found drugs in her home. Check it out.
First at 5 on your news leader, Memphis rapper Glorilla is arrested in Georgia just days before she's set to perform at her Glow Bash at FedEx Forum. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hirsch. She was arrested on drug charges. However, Glorilla's attorney says there's more to the story. WRG's Raven Copeland joins us now live from FedEx Forum. And Raven, fans are wondering if this will impact tomorrow's concert there.
Yeah, Greg and Stephanie, organizers told WREG that the show will go on. Today, the FedEx Forum tweeted a ticket link for the Glow Bash, and they tweeted that out for people to buy more tickets. They said the tickets are still on sale, and that will happen tomorrow night at the FedEx Forum. Now, as fans prepare for the event, Glorilla, her attorney, and the community are reacting to her arrest in Georgia.
Days before Glorilla is set to headline her inaugural Glow Bash at the FedEx Forum, she was arrested on drug charges in Forsyth County, Georgia. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office says this all started in the overnight hours of Saturday, July 20th, when deputies responded to a burglary call at the rapper's home. The police report shows someone in the home fired shots at a group of people who broke in and stole items. The suspects were gone when deputies arrived, and during their investigation, deputies say they smelled illegal drugs. Deputies.
Wait. So somebody broke into her home. They called in order to try to, and called the police in order to deal with whatever it is that they got to deal with. And then that's when the Georgia police then said, all right, we smell something inside of the home. Then we got to start investigating. Let me rewind this real quick. Give me a second.
Forsyth County, Georgia. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office says this all started in the overnight hours of Saturday, July 20th, when deputies responded to a burglary call at the rapper's home. The police report shows someone in the home fired shots at a group of people who broke in and stole items. The suspects were gone when deputies arrived, and during their investigation, deputies say they smelled illegal drugs. Deputies then executed a search warrant and found marijuana inside the master bedroom closet. They charged Glorilla, the homeowner, with felony marijuana possession and possession of Schedule I controlled substance.
If it was anybody else, if it was another Jane Doe, it's just because it's Glorilla, they make a big deal out of it. If it was Lakeisha down the street, it would have been nothing.
Glorilla's attorney, Marissa Goldberg, tells WREG that the rapper was out of town and her family was home at the time of the burglary.
It's a lot to take from this. Let me take what this guy said.
The Jane Doe, it's just because it's Glorilla.
Nah, that's not how it works, big dog. And this is what I keep trying to tell people. That is not how it works. You can't then just automatically say, oh man, if it was just another rapper or if it was just a Jane Doe. That's the whole idea, is that you're not just another Jane Doe. That's the whole idea, is that you're not just another Jane Doe. You can't do the same thing that everybody else do because you are not just another Jane Doe. That's the point. And that's why you got to be careful of even the people that you surround yourself with. That's why you got to be careful of the circle that you keep and the people that you're rocking with, is because you're not just another Jane Doe. You have to do things a little bit differently. That's why you got to keep your circle tighter. Listen. I look at this as a warning for her. Somebody says, nah, you off. Really? So when you get money and you become famous and you have a lot of resources, you could just do the same thing that everybody else does, and you expect to get treated the same way that everybody else does, even when it comes to the police, even when it comes to all of that, right? Nobody said it was fair. Nobody said it was fair. But this is the price of fame. This is the price of money. This is the price of visibility. I'm not off. I'm never off when it comes to this type of thing. No, I'm not off. You have more visibility. You can't move like everybody else move. You can't smoke like everybody else smoke. You can't do the same things that everybody else do. You are now held to a higher standard by society. Is it right? Doesn't matter if it's right or not. This is just the way that it happens. This is the way that it moves. I don't know why this is such a difficult conversation for y'all to have. You can't do the same things that everybody else do. You can't. I know that y'all want to be relatable, but you're not relatable. You're not the same thing that everybody else do. You got to move differently.
They make a big deal out of it. If it was Lakeisha down the street, it would have been nothing.
Glorilla's attorney, Marissa Goldberg, tells WREG that the rapper was out of town and her family was home at the time of the burglary. Your news leader went on Bill Street to hear what people have to say about her arrest.
I think that's the absolutely most craziest thing I've ever heard, because she wasn't there, first and foremost. Second of all, we don't necessarily know what happened in that situation. The robbers could have left it there. Anything could have happened.
She wouldn't even been there. So how do you know somebody that planted drugs? How do you know somebody in her family that had it? It could be anything.
Now, Glorilla was released the same day on a $22,260 bond. And again, she is expected to perform tomorrow night at her Glow Bash at FedEx Forum. Now, she tweeted about her arrest and she said, long story short, my house gets invaded and I'm the only one that gets arrested. Now, Glorilla's attorney says that there have not been any arrest warrants in touch with that home invasion. And she went on to say that Glorilla is a victim, not a suspect.
That's a fact. You're a victim. You 100% are a victim. And you got to be more careful about the place that you live in as far as the state that you in. Yo, she stay in trouble in Georgia. She stay in trouble in Georgia. And it's not even that. I didn't even know that y'all couldn't have trees inside of y'all crib. Y'all can't have trees. Y'all can't bring trees inside of y'all crib in Atlanta. I know it's different in Michigan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can kind of have up to a certain amount and all of that. I didn't know that y'all couldn't have trees inside of Atlanta. Yeah, she caught a DUI there. She catch a lot of stuff there. She always catching L's inside of Georgia. So, first of all, you got to be careful of the people that you surround yourself with. The second thing is you might have to stop living in Atlanta. And then third, you got to hold yourself to a higher standard. If you know that you catching L's, if you know that you targeted, you know all of that. And I'm pretty sure that this ain't gonna be nothing. Like, her lawyers is gonna make quick work of this and all of that. But you gotta, when you get to a certain level, you have to just move different. You know what I'm saying? Is it fair? Nope. You can't say that she's the culprit when she wasn't even there. Her house is the one that got broken into, and then they do an investigation because they smell trees. Nah, like, I'm not with it. I don't agree with it. I don't think that she should have been arrested based off of the facts and the information that they given on here. Maybe some more information to come out. That's why you can fight it inside of court. Her lawyers will probably make quick work of it, and it's probably going to amount to nothing. But I would take this, if I was her, I would take this as a warning, and I would move and I would adjust accordingly. I would take this as a warning. I would get people from out of my circle that keep on getting me in certain situations. I would move to where, you know what I'm saying, people couldn't be able to target me in the place that I live at and all of that stuff. I would just look at it as an opportunity to get myself out of this situation. I would look at it as a warning 100%. And if you're looking at it anything as any, because I don't think that she's necessarily wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, you can take it and say, oh man, she did this egregious thing. No, I don't think that that's the type of situation it is. But I would just be looking at it and saying, you know what? I got to move a little bit differently. I got to keep a different group of people around me. I might have to get out of this place that I live at because people know where I live and they able to break in. So, I would just be moving a little differently. I don't think that she did nothing wrong. I don't see no big deal. I know people want to demonize her and go off on her and all of this stuff. And let me also say this. I know that y'all want me to go off on people. I don't know what that is. Like, everybody wants me to be, oh man, Anton, I seen somebody was saying that I've been having the wrong take on everything now, especially when it came to like the guy that got the guy that got arrested because the police officer punched him. They said I had the wrong take on that. They say I got the wrong take on a lot of different things. And so people want me to, be a little bit more aggressive like I used to be. They want me to only be and talk about conservative stuff and only have the same perspective and view as the conservatives have. And I know that y'all want me to go off and y'all want me to have that perspective, and to every rapper, because they are a rapper, that they're automatically bad and they automatically need to be held accountable. Nope. It's in the eyes of the law. You should have just pulled over and complied and you wouldn't have got punched in the face. I'm not that. I'm my own person. I'm not going to take a stand or a perspective based off of whatever popular culture is saying just because it's popular culture. And so I know that y'all want me to just automatically demonize it, and you don't want me to look at the details and all of that. I can't do that. I just got to give you my honest to God thoughts. I can't do that. Are y'all listening? You justifying excessive force by the police, AD? What? What are you talking about? You're not paying attention? Don't worry about it. I'm not even going to interact with it. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turning notifications. Let me read a couple of super chats and then we can move on to the next part of the show. Jaden Noir says, 80, I get into arguments all the time with dumb ninjas who really think rich white folks sit around thinking is ways to hold them down. Here's a question that I got for you, Jaden Noir. Why are you around people that you, in real life, that you getting into arguments about that don't even align with your views? Do you think that I talk about politics with my family or stuff like that. I don't. I just be looking at people when they want to, like, I don't know, if you think that you was going to challenge me in real life or something like that, I just be like, yo, we about to go get some drinks or what? I don't care. James says the thieves took money and left weed. Why are you entertaining people that got that different perspective than you? That's what I would ask you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to argue back and forth with people in real life. I'm slow motion. I'm chilling. Life is good. Why would I argue back and forth? Let me cover this next story really quickly because it's something that I do want to share with you guys. Before I want to get into this whites only directly after this. But this next story it's unfortunate and it's tragedy because it's the same thing that I say all the time. It's always the innocent ones, and it's always the people that are doing what they're supposed to do. They are the ones that suffer the most. A 26-year-old drunk driver kills 4 people. Let me say that again for the people in the back. A 26-year-old drunk driver kills 4 people.
It is a tragedy that never had to happen. 4 young adults killed in a fiery crash on the 605 caused by a 26-year-old suspected drunk driver.
Tonight, the family of one of the victims is speaking out for the first time about the 4 friends whose lives were taken too soon. KTLA's Mary Beth McDade live in Huntington Beach with a heartbreaking story. Mary Beth.
Yeah, Mike and Cher, she tells us that these 4 young people that all died together, she says that they had a very deep-rooted friendship that began many, many years ago. And she says that they were really good kids who were very close to their friends and family.
She felt she was about the relationships, and that's what I noticed about all these 4 kids. They weren't burning with ambition. They weren't political. They had these deep friendships from...
Kathy Stickle is talking about her niece, Julie Harmori, the 24-year-old Huntington Beach girl, her boyfriend, 24-year-old Armand Del Campo, and their 2 friends, 24-year-old Jordan Partridge and 24-year-old Sam Skosalik, were all killed in a fiery crash on the 605 freeway Sunday morning in Norwalk. Kathy says the 4 were returning from a concert when their Nissan and a CHP car somehow collided on the freeway. As a result, their Nissan became disabled.
Jordan called her mom. Jordan called her mom and said, "Mom, we've been in an accident. Everybody's okay. Don't worry about it, but it's going to take longer because we have to wait to do all of that." And in the middle of a sentence, the line went dead.
The families would later learn why Jordan's phone went dead. A Kia, apparently with a drunk driver behind the wheel, smashed into the back of their Nissan. The Nissan exploded into flames and killed all 4 of them inside. The families had to figure this out by themselves, that it was their loved ones involved in that deadly crash. They say they didn't hear anything from authorities and so began reaching out to each other and looking at news reports. Plus, Kathy says she knew her niece had a white Nissan.
Nissan's a white Nissan. These are 4 people, and none of these kids are answering their phones, and it's been 7 hours, 8 hours by now. So we decided it's probably them.
Police say the Kia driver, 26-year-old Iris Salmeron of Bellflower, and her passenger had to be taken to the hospital with serious injuries. And they tell us that Salmeron is facing multiple felony charges. Meantime, Kathy says that all the families are now turning to each other to get through this unimaginable grief.
All the parents are checking on each other. They're checking on people that they met through this whole tragedy that started.
It really is truly tragic, and a GoFundMe page has been set up for all 4 of these victims to help out with funeral costs, and you can find a link to it on.
That is so sad, bro. That is so sad. That is so messed up. So you telling me, and it happens. How many times have we said that this happens on a regular basis, and that the person or the people that committed or the people that, do whatever it is, the drunk driver that killed somebody, how many times do we say that those people wind up making it? They get minor scratches or bruises. They wind up getting treated at the hospital. And then it's always the regular everyday people that die. Every single time. Every single man. How many? Man, we've been doing this show for a while, and we've been having these stories and all of this stuff come up all the time. It's always the people. It's always the people that don't deserve to die, shouldn't be there, all of this other stuff. Those are always the ones that catch that L every single time. It's so tragic. It's so unfortunate, and it's so tragic. Why is the reason for that? Oh, yeah.
The impact, it's just nothing. Whereas people who aren't drunk, they brace for the impact, and so that makes it worse.
This is why they're so hard on drunk drivers, though.
In Utah, they're about to make it to where you go to the bar or restaurant and
Mhm.
try to buy a drink, and scan your license. If you've ever had a DUI, it can't serve you.
Rita said in Utah, they about to install a law to where they can scan your license if you go to the bar to go have a drink or something like that. Utah is probably one of the most strict places that I've ever been to when it comes to alcohol and what time they serve alcohol and when you can buy it and where you can buy it from. She said that it's about to be a situation in Utah. They changing it. Maybe it's just because there's so many Mormons or whatever there. They changing it to where you would have to scan your license, and if you've ever had a drunk driving or a DUI or something like that, then they can't serve you. Our Arizona is strict too. If you've ever had a DUI or something like that, then they cannot serve you. They getting tougher on drunk drivers. They getting tougher on people that are super speeders, drunk drivers, anybody that's out here wreaking havoc on the road. They not messing around. And this is one of the reasons why, because these are the things that we don't see. I'm heavy, super heavy, and I am vigilant on people that are around me that drink. And I'm like, yo, do not drive. I don't care if it's going to be, you got to go and get your car in the morning. You don't want to leave your car out there because it only take one time. It only take one situation where you're going to find yourself in a tragedy. And then, you can't help the person. Or even if people get pulled over, it's like, yo, you do realize that they not messing around. They're going to have you going to classes. They're going to have you removing yourself from being able to go out of town because you got to do a random alcohol check. If you got a car and you're trying to get to work every day, they're going to put that thing in your car where you got to blow to show that you ain't got no alcohol in your system. They don't mess around, bro. They do not mess around. You said Utah is the first state where they're removing fluoride from the water. What does that mean? What does that mean? Because it seemed like places where they don't got fluoride in the water, and I don't know. It seemed like their teeth be super yellow. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But it is. It is unfortunate because the good people are the ones that are obeying the law. And that's why you got to be situationally aware even with that. Because I pay attention to the stuff that's happening around me. I could not even be doing nothing wrong. And I'm just naturally, I scan the room. Most guys I know, I seen a guy the other day, and it's not that he did anything wrong. It's just my natural instincts of how I move. I seen a guy the other day, and he came into the restaurant and he just sat down. He sat down, and his girl sat down, and they just sat down. And I was like, I can't just sit down. First thing I'm looking at is I got to make sure that my back is not towards it. You know what I'm saying? My back can't be towards the door. I need to be seeing who coming in and who coming out. I don't know what that is. If I can't just sit down, I got to be able to see the door. I need to see who coming in and who coming out. My back is never going to be to the door. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing or a good thing, but that's just my natural instinct because I need to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Women, y'all got it good. Women, y'all got it good. Y'all just be bumbling around, oblivious to life. I look at women like a cartoon. I look at women like a cartoon. I look at women and it's almost like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen them cartoons where like back in the day where somebody will be walking and then there's people that's making sure that stuff happen around them to where it makes sure they don't fall or they turn them this way so that they can keep walking. Women are just completely oblivious a lot of times to life. And that is a benefit of being a woman sometimes, depending on the type of friend group or the circle or the person that you're around or whatever. Because y'all don't even be knowing. Got to make sure that you walk on the inside of the street. You can sit there with your back to the door and just be all giggly and googly eyed and don't know nothing that's going on. Some of y'all are privileged enough to not even have to go to the gas station. So you ain't got to worry about that. You just be getting in your car driving. You don't even know if the oil need to be changed. That's why they start, you know why they start doing the electronic systems to let you know that your oil need to be changed? Because women start getting more independent and women start being more on their own. And so guys always knew, all right, so listen, I got to change the oil every this many thousand miles. I'm going to run synthetic. I'm going to run synthetic instead of regular oil. Bro, you get into a woman's car, sometimes every light is on, gas is on E. They ain't had an oil change in a long time, and the tires is bald, and the winter is coming. And they just be driving. Like, girl, you ain't got no tires. And the winter is coming. You all right? Just rolling, just driving. Engine about to grow. Because they ain't changed the oil in the last 20,000 miles. Like, girl, you need a man in your life. Yep, brakes is squealing. It's go grinding against the rotors. Ain't even the brakes no more. It's just rotors. Metal on metal. Don't you see that change oil light on? That's why they start putting all of the electronics and stuff in the stuff, because women just be driving. They don't even think. They just be going. See all of that brake dust on your car? You got your car washed lately? No, you don't want to get that washed? Yeah, you just dusty, huh? All right. You know what? I'm so mad at Chrysler and General Motors. They make bad engines. No, you're not a good maintenance person of your car. When I be hearing people saying that their cars and blew up and stuff after so long, I'm like, how? I done literally had so many cars. I've never had a problem with a car as far as like mechanical. They just be going, honestly. But anyways, ain't got an alignment, and since they got the car, take the hand off the steering wheel and just go all the way to the right. Like, what are you doing? See, K Cooper, that's exactly what y'all say. No, just buy a Toyota, it goes forever. No, you still got to change the oil, baby. You still got to get the brakes done. You still got to make sure that you get an alignment. You got to change your tires. Just because it's a Toyota does not mean that you're not supposed to do the maintenance. I don't, fellas, and this is just me, and maybe y'all a little different. So y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. I don't feel comfortable with a woman driving a car. I'm never going to get in. Bro, it's hard for me to get into the passenger side. We going somewhere? I drive. I'm driving every time. That's just the way that it is. I'm driving. Nope. You sure you want us to take your car? Because I'm going to have to drive it. I'm driving. Nope. I can't. I can't do it. I'm not built like that. I don't want to, I can't do it. I don't even see how y'all drive. Y'all sit this close to the steering wheel. This close to the steering wheel. Why are you so close to the steering wheel? Why are you here? Why are you at the steering wheel all the way up like this? How are you able to? What are you doing? You can't even turn your head to see. You can't do this to look in your blind spot. You don't look in blind spots. You just change lanes. You're depending on the technology. Got it. Okay. All the way up to here. Sit back a little bit. Pull back. Relax. Baby, all the way up to here. Driving like this. I'll drive like this. All the way up to here. Head be going all of which way because you too close. You're too close to the steering wheel. Start stopping right when they get up to the car. Like, get on out of here, man. Get in the passenger seat. Got me scared to. When you get in the car to go by yourself, I'll just be praying. Bless them, Lord. Bless her to just be focused. Pull her seat back for her, Jesus. Bless her to get there in one piece in Jesus' name, amen. Good God, y'all can't drive. And then they'll try to hit us with the whole. But what? But the statistics say that men get into more accidents. That's because we usually the ones that always got to drive, no matter what the situation. I almost rather drive drunk than let a woman drive me. I don't even like women Uber drivers. I see a woman Uber driver pull up, I'll be like, oh. Woman Uber driver pull up. Just start praying. Lord, keep us safe. Bless us to be able to make it to our destination. That's part of the reason why I only do black. Because women. What you looking like that for? I never said you. You feeling offended?
You said women and you don't like to. You all the time.
Do you feel as though you're included in this conversation? Did I say Rita or did I say women?
You said women.
Why are you standing there with the attitude? You need to go get ready because y'all got to go to the competition and then y'all got to find out what time I'm supposed to be there. Have a nice day. Go. Have a nice day. Go. Thank you. That's why I only get Uber Black. Have a nice day. Don't keep peeking back out. You know why I get Uber Black? You know why I get a black truck? I'm going to tell you why I get a black truck. I get a black truck because I know that women don't invest in themselves when it comes to business. So even if you're an Uber driver, it's always going to be a man. It's always going to be a man that pull up. Every time it's going to be a man that pulls up. And so I know that I'm safe because it's going to be a guy. I don't care what his ethnicity is. It'd be a black guy, be a white man, or be some Middle Eastern man or something like that, right? Women are never going to they're not going to get the Escalade. They're not going to get the Navigator. They're not going to get a Suburban. They're not going to get an Expedition. They're not going to get none of that. So you never got to worry about a woman getting in a black truck. Women drive Uber when they feel like they ain't got no other choice. It's always a woman that's down on her luck. She trying to figure it out, just got to make some money because I gotta feed myself for the day. They might have just rented the car just for the day. So they got a threshold that they got to hit, right? They got the car for the day, so they got a threshold. The rental company is charging them $150, $125, $130 a day. So that means that they got to make $250 to make $100 for themselves. Women make bad decisions in business. They just not good business leaders. They're not good leaders. That's why we just say, go ahead and stay in the kitchen, baby. Try to figure out what vegetables and what onions and which green peppers we gonna eat for the night. in order to go into it for the meal. That's your task. Just stay focused. Green peppers, onions, tomatoes. Focus on that. When it come to business, when it come to you focusing on things that you got to make a smarter decision for, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I got it. Y'all just make bad decisions. Oh my God, I gotta figure it out. I can drive, apply for Uber. Half the time when you get DoorDash. What up, Les? Half the time when you get DoorDash, we know that y'all sign up for it so that your boyfriend can drive. Every time, half the time I get a woman DoorDash driver, I see, oh, it's Elise. Elise is supposed to deliver your food. And I see a nigga, a dreadhead getting out the car. What's up? You got an order? Elise, order for Jason? Yeah, no, I'm doing for my girl. You're my girl account. Here you go, big dog. Here you go. It's always a dreadhead delivering my food under a name that ain't got nothing to do with a man. Yo, what's up? You got an order? Got these bananas, got this cookies. There you go. Every single time. Dreadhead. What's up? Then they always want to call me. Yeah, it's saying the directions to come to the back door of the building. So you want me to come to the front door or the back door? Nigga, it say on the directions, back door. Or I have in the directions, bring it up. I literally have it in the directions. Bring it up. I have an extra $20 tip for you. It's in the directions on my DoorDash app. Yo, I'm downstairs. I look at my phone. Yeah, you gonna bring it up? Oh, you want me to bring it up? I just tell them I'm on my way over there. I'll come down there and pick it up. Put my $20, my extra $20 back in my pocket. Because I tip in the app. I'll usually tip like $20 in the app, and then I'll give another $20 when you deliver it, right? Every single time. Yo, I come downstairs, Future Junior down there. Future Junior down there with my food. Sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes I throw the food away. There has been these last few times that I get a dreadhead, I throw the food away. And it's not that I'm discriminating, but I can smell the smoke on my bag. I can smell trees or cigarette smoke on my bag. I'm walking back to my studio and I have my bag, it's sealed, and they'll have the sticker on it, and I could smell smoke on my bag. I just throw it away. Can't do right. Just can't do right. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying, bro. I smell the smoke on my bag from the delivery, from it sitting in your car, whether it's sitting on the front seat or you was smoking while you was in there. I could smell the smoke on my bag. I just throw it away. Didn't even know it was going to be a thing until I got my bag. I don't even eat it. I just take the L. You know what? I was supposed to be fasting today anyway. I ain't even going to trip about it. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you, we got to do better. We got to do better. Moses King says, yo, AD, I need that chaser hat, big dog. Where can I cop one? I actually got like 4 of them back at the crib. Send me an email. I'll send you one. Jay Demar says, you're right, AD, great point. Kay McCargo says, AD, I'm looking to replace my dying work laptop with one that I can also use for content creation. Do you have any recommendations? I prefer a PC. I only use MacBooks. I got 2 MacBook Pros. and I got 2 Mac Studios. So I got the Mac Studio with the Mac monitors and everything. I only use Mac products. Me personally, I only use Mac products. I like them the best. Uncle Tezzy says, my girl automatically knows that I sit facing the door, even had to teach her how to walk through the airport. Teacher. DJ Ace Production says, when they said Jesus take the wheel, that was for women. Facts. Jerry says the female driver slander will not be tolerated. Manuel G says, used to know a girl in high school who would change lanes without looking at her side mirrors. Oh, God. Couldn't even drive with her. Manuel G says, oh, you sent it twice? I appreciate it. Maya says, hey, D, can you make a vetted group for us singles seeking marriage and family, like KS's group where Dennis Sperling met his wife? I think you really help us find like-minded match. Is that what y'all want? I'll put it in the Patreon. I'm going to put up a poll later on today in the Patreon, and then I'm going to find out what y'all want. Honestly, it's some people that had actually met up at the meetups and got married. If that's what y'all want, I'll put it up. If that's what y'all want, I would put it up. People that's in it though, because I don't want nobody getting no dusties and saying, oh man, I met him in the Anton group. Nope. I would have to vet the people that went into it first. We're not doing no dusties. Let me get this next one set up. All right, let's go into white people. I want to talk about white people really quickly because there are groups of white people that are self-segregating in the Ozarks of Arkansas. There are groups of white people that are segregating themselves in the Ozarks of Arkansas.
Association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is
online, a network that aims to define.
Let me fast forward this a little bit.
And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here is that this isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity, and that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
We are driving deep into the Ozark Mountains. The group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my choice.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the freedom to do it?
That's what they want to do.
I think it's kind of a little fishy around here, but just be safe.
The leader of the group is called Eric Orr, and he's invited me to spend a few days with them.
Hey, Eric.
He insists what he is doing here is entirely legal, and that's key, because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, it's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out.
You don't let everyone into your home.
100 and
So let me ask y'all a question before we continue to review this. How many of you guys actually see this as a problem? Let me know inside of the chat. How many people actually sees this as a problem? Let me know inside of the chat. Ain't a problem. Nope. Nope. Black people been talking about doing this forever. Let them rock out. They chilling. No issue at all. I love it. This is not a problem. It might be, but we got guns too. No problem at all. I don't care. Zero problem with it. Nope, don't care. Not a problem. That's how white people do it in the South. Wow. I don't see anybody that has a problem with it. This is pretty good. Don't care. That's their rights. No, not bothering. No one. Not a problem with me. Zero problems, big fella. We good as black people. Wow, that's impressive. That's very impressive. They seem like good people. Black Hebrew do it so others can. Congrats to them. Take it back. Wow, that's impressive. All right, I like this. Carrie sounds fine to me. I don't want to hear Carrie's opinion right now because I'm going to get Carrie's opinion tonight. I plan on making this a whole show. My mama keep calling me. Give me a second. Sorry, y'all. Rita, can you call my mom and see what she wants? Let me play a little bit more and then I'm going to give y'all my opinion on this.
60 acres taking shape, forest cleared, roads laid, cabins built. Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met here.
Oh, you met here? I guess he came here.
I met here on like day 3. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, right?
Yeah.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month. They wouldn't be here without social media.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do the same thing.
I think it'd be quite controversial.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then, anyone of any race can come and
I think that everybody always wants to make things a problem, but black people have been trying to do this for years. Other Somalians took over Minneapolis. Minneapolis is Somalia now. Minneapolis is Somalia. That's what Minneapolis is. Minneapolis is Somalia. Eric D says this community is 1 hour north of Jonesboro, Arkansas, which is a college town. Yeah, but I don't see what the problem is. The reason why I felt compelled to have this as a part of the Millionaire Morning Show, and I actually did a review video of this yesterday, is because I had been seeing online, obviously on different platforms like Instagram and TikTok, where people were complaining about it. And so what I was trying to understand is, well, why are y'all complaining about it? Like I'll give you an example. I don't understand why people make sundown towns such a big deal. Are you interested in living there? Are y'all interested in traveling to the top of the mountains and the Ozarks in Arkansas where they don't even know how to drill properly, or they living in, did y'all see how they live in? They got Mazdas and cabins, mini cabins that don't even look like it's inhabitable like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and trailers. It doesn't look like a place that I would even be interested in going to. And so I don't understand what the issue is. Why are people, not y'all, obviously, what is the issue then, Nisi? What is the issue? What is wrong with people self-segregating and not bothering anybody? Because black people do it. Black people have been talking about doing it. Nobody says anything when black people do it. Nobody says anything when black people do it. When black people say we need our own town, we need our own community, we need to come together, people don't look at it as hate speech. They say, oh, okay, so y'all want to build the economic dollar. When black people get together and say we want to protest Target, right? Nobody trips. Oh, this is just black community. Y'all need to recognize the black dollar. So if white people did it and said, listen, well, y'all need to recognize the white dollar, you then look at it and say, well, it's racist. No. People need to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it, as long as they're not breaking the law and they're not offending and hurting everybody else at all. Listen, like, I would recognize you, but you don't have no profile picture, so I think you jerk off in your socks. Here's the thing. I think that segregation is stupid, personally. I personally, from a personal development perspective, from a culturally, I want to make sure that I learn as much as I can, and I don't want to limit my resources or limit the opportunities that's in front of me. I think that segregation is the dumbest thing in the world. That's my personal view, okay? From a you can do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody's view. If black people decide that they want to self-segregate and they don't want to be around other people and they only want to depend on each other, I don't have any problem with it, because it's their right to be able to do so. Do I think that they're personally limiting themselves as far as the extent or the impact that they can have by making sure that they open up the opportunities to interact with other people? Of course, I think that is dumb. I think that it's dumb that white people are deciding that they want to follow in the footsteps of other groups and communities and self-segregate. From my own personal opinion of what I think that personal development is supposed to look like. But when it comes to whether or not I think that they are wrong in what they are doing, I do not think that they are wrong. And I think that if black people can do it, white people can do it, white people can do it, and black people can do it, you can self-segregate and you can choose who you don't want to be around. And if you want to buy land, they're not stealing nothing from nobody. They're not harming nobody. They're not doing nothing negative to nobody. If you want to buy land in the mountains of the Ozarks, and then you want to self-develop and be self-sustaining around other people that you say that look like you, then there should be nobody, not a soul. They ain't burning no crosses on nobody's lawns, and they not lynching nobody. There should not be anybody to tell you that you are wrong for doing it. Do I think that it's smart? I personally, in my opinion, don't think that it's smart. Do I think that it's wrong? I don't think that it's wrong. And I think that they should be able to self-segregate if they want to. They're not forcing nobody else out of their homes. They're not doing nothing to nobody else. What is the problem? Why is this an issue? Do y'all plan on going into the mountains of the Ozarks in order to try to disrupt what they're going on? Then it's going to be an issue. I guarantee you that none of you are ever going to go to the mountains of the Ozarks, Nisi, and have a conversation with these people. You are not going to the mountains of the Ozarks. The only time that y'all even knew about the Ozarks is that y'all started looking at the Netflix series with Jason Bateman. Nobody, I promise you, listen, I promise you, I'm never going to go and explore the Ozarks. I have no interest in it whatsoever. And the Ozarks is allegedly really large. Like, you can go to the Ozarks and still never ever run into these people. It's nothing appealing there. There is no hotels. There's not a Ritz-Carlton. It's not a Westin. It's not a Marriott. It's not a Hilton. It's nothing there. It's nothing there for me to go into. Ain't no gas stations. Ain't no corner stores. Ain't no pool halls. It's nothing there for each other. If they want to, they probably going to be busting each other down. They going to probably, in a year, they'll probably be having issues with each other. Oh, you slept with my wife. I just married her. I just got here. I married her yesterday, and I already see you making your. I bet you they got issues amongst each other. They still got to figure it out. They still human beings. They still human beings. They still got to figure. They ain't even got a paved road. It's dirt roads and at a 4x4 in order to not get stuck. And if you got it, you got to get a winch to get them out. I don't want to go there. I'm not interested in going there. The weather is extreme. If they decided that they wanted to do it, let them do it. Have at it. I have no problem whatsoever with them deciding to self-segregate, buy their own land, put their own money together, pool their resources together, and build them some mobile homes and have them some campfires together. God bless. God bless. Do it. Do it. None of y'all was checking for this guy anyway. Was you checking for him? No. You wasn't checking for him. Let her have him. She couldn't find nobody. She found her man in the Ozarks. Let her have him. Look at them canisters. Look at that white teepee back there. Look at the road. Look at where the road leads to on the left-hand side of the screen. Is that where you want to live? Look at the road. That's all dirt road. Mosquitoes is going Amsterdam out there. Mosquitoes is going apes out there. Yellow fever. Nigga, you can have it. You got it. You got it, big dog. You got it. Mosquitoes is on 10. Nah, I'm good. Never got to worry about me going down there. I'm good.
Your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are, the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society. And suddenly, your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence happening to white people and white children. And so
specifically sort of motivated by racism against white people. What sort of things the heavens are about to
I ran these good white folks out of America.
The rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins.
Heck no. Every time the rain come down, it just flood. No, I'm good, dog.
Night falls.
Look at that.
The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning.
Look at these people.
This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL.
Every weekend, this is what you're doing?
What they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work.
Nope.
To join RTTL, you have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. And there are strict criteria for membership. As Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here.
And you got to pay your fees and dues in order to join the group. Go ahead, do it.
You have to be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of European heritage.
Doesn't look appealing to me at all.
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage. It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted on ethnicity and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Those shares translate to acres of land that they can build on. Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is a way around it.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll survive contact with the legal system?
Dogs out there.
Hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term? Do you embrace it?
I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore. Like it's
a prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually, the modern definition of racism, according to critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
A lot of this is reaction to left-wing identity politics, critical race theory, and movements like Black Lives Matter. And fundamentally, this is identity politics, but white identity politics. And what they're building here is a safe space for people of European ancestry.
It's exclusionary. It's sort of an attempt at segregation.
Right.
Is that fair?
Probably.
While the men labour at the roadside, the women of Return to the Land are at work too, looking after the 6 children who live and are homeschooled here full time. and they're preparing food for the weekly community dinner. The theme tonight, colonial.
I don't know, dinner's really important. I like feeding people, so I didn't want to put this.
I'm good. I'm good. Look how frizzy her hair is. The heat and the moisture got her hair looking crazy. You know, women don't like, especially black women. Black women don't like moisture in the air, too much heat, along with the moisture. If it's too wet outside, then their hair start frizzing up. Y'all want this seasonless meat that they about to make? Who knows? With mosquitoes in it. We good. We're 100% good. I have no problem. Personally, I have no problem whatsoever when people decide that they want to, boiled chicken. When they decided to self-segregate and they have their weekly themed colonial dinner together, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Leave them people alone, man. I know y'all always want to be included in everything, especially black people. No, it's racist. They need to stop it. You got some time to go and get yourself together. We got to clean up our own lawns. We got to make sure that we take care of our own neighborhoods. We got to get our own kids out here from off the street robbing people. And we got to make sure that we don't have no more diseases. All right. We got our own issues. Stop worrying about what other people is doing. They not hurting nobody. Ain't nobody doing nothing to nobody. They decided them as nerds, man. A lot of those people are, if they wasn't doing that, they would be sitting in the basement, jerking off, getting anime characters and all of that. Let them people do what they want to do, bro. Let them people, do those people look like the strongest amongst us, the most brute amongst us, the people that we need to be worried about whether or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them people, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, look like leftovers from society. They look like the leftovers from society. And it's like, society has left them behind. She got children already. She just got married. He decided that he wanted to simp out and he married her immediately because he kept getting swiped left on Hinge and Bumble. Nobody cares. Leave them people alone. Let them procreate amongst each other. Let them fight amongst each other, pay their own membership dues. If they wasn't there, they would be greeting me at Walmart. The Last of Us, those are the Last of Us. The Undesireds. Don't nobody care. Let them people do what they want to do. Ain't nobody tripping about them people. Y'all always want to make it a big deal. Oh my God. They did an interview out there and there's some racist people in the Ozarks of Arkansas. Let's go and protest. Man, if y'all don't focus on what y'all got going on in your own place. Everybody worried about them. So that's my opinion on it anyways. Sounds like we all on the same page here. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. HR is feeling attacked in the chat. What up, Jay Ben? Take back what you said. I can drive, sir. How do we know? How do we know? Because a woman's perspective of what she does well is often skewed. How do we know that y'all can drive? Y'all don't even know how to multitask. Y'all don't even know how to multitask. That's how I know it's difficult for y'all to drive. If it's too much going on at the same time, y'all start panicking and get confused and then y'all have a mental breakdown. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I think that y'all drive good enough to pass a driver's test. That's it. See, I knew it. Carrie's going to hit us with it. Roughly 80% of drunk driving fatalities in the U.S. involve male drivers, according to the National Traffic Highway Administration. Here's the thing. We can't drive drunk, but we can drive better than y'all regularly. So when we impaired, yes, we make bad decisions on the road. But when we not impaired, we're better drivers than y'all. So we make bad decisions when we drink. That's a fact. I give you that one. I give you that one. But when we not drunk, we're better than y'all. That's why we don't trust y'all. Anton's the best. He's getting us all. Oh, Carrie is on the assault this morning. I see. Okay, all right. Username Delta says inbreeding loading. Facts. Anton, should I network or stay reserved at my call center job? Says Kiera. I have the CEOs and VPs email. Should I reach out? And if so, how do I approach them? Here's the thing that I like to do. I like to do drive-bys. I like to drive by people's offices and ask them what they think about certain things. It can't hurt you to reach out for emailing and asking what it is that you can do in order to be able to add value or whatever it is that you want to do. But here's the thing that I realize. People want to be around people that got motion. I'm keeping it 100 with you. People want to be around other people that got motion. I say this often, and I'm going to say it to y'all. Networking, a lot of times, as far as how we're describing networking in our community, often at times is going to a networking event. Most of the time when y'all go to networking events, you're going hoping to meet somebody to give you an opportunity, but you're not going in order to add value. Networking events says, yo, come and meet this or whatever, so on and so forth. And everybody is there thinking that they're going to meet somebody that's going to give them something. That's not how networking goes. Networking in real life is adding value to the group. So people have to see potential in you. They got to see the value that you add. If you're just coming out with your hand out, then I can't use you. I'm much more likely to have your attention, or you're much more likely to have my attention if you coming to me and you trying to figure out how you can add value into my life, or you already identify something that you can do differently for me. That's when you start to get my attention. So when you're thinking about reaching out to people, think about the value add that you can give to them in order for them to be able to have your attention. That's the key to getting somebody's attention. All right, Kiera, let's play it differently. Let's look at it differently. Do you want a man that comes up to you that you're not interested in? We're all social creatures. We just apply it differently when it comes to environments, culture, relationships, business. We're all social creatures. Women don't want men to come up to them to just get their number if they don't feel as though something can materialize out of it, or they don't see any attraction, or they don't see any value that he can add into their life, right? That's the difference between assault and harassment versus being assertive. The reason why you give this guy a chance is because you're profiling him to basically try to understand where the value add is and why it is that you should have a conversation with him. That's why you talk to him. You're looking at the value add. Guys are a little bit more barbaric, right? Especially when it comes to women. We're much more black and white barbaric. The minute that a woman gives a guy a compliment, he's trying to figure out whether or not she got a good box or not. Not all, but most. Okay. All right. That's the value add. That's the value add. Oh, I think she liked me. Oh, I think she liked me. So when you start to break it down from a business perspective, why would somebody, if you're the person that has a lot of resources, if you're the person that got a lot of motion, if you're the person that don't have a lot of time, what's the value add? Why should this person get your attention? You want to be around other people that got motion. Facts. You touch my elbow accidentally, I think you want me. So y'all got to also be working on having motion and figuring out where you can add value, while at the same time contemplating whether or not you want to be around certain people. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's the key to success. Not all guys, but that's most guys. You smile at me too long, we go together. Oh, some of y'all already is sexed in their mind. You just don't know it yet. All right, you don't want me to tell the truth? Then all right, we're not gonna talk about truth. We're just gonna act like everything is normal. Some of y'all are already bust down. You just don't know it yet. Just haven't happened physically yet. Oh, y'all don't like that part. All right. Well, I stopped telling y'all the truth. I stopped telling y'all the truth. If y'all knew the amount of guys that had already bust you down in their mind, then y'all would be appalled at how barbaric we are as people. You would be appalled. Guys have to, we got to reverse engineer. It's different. Women, this is why we can't be looked at as the same. Because women, women, they work their way up into a situation. Guys work themselves backwards into what they thought that they already should have got from you in the first place. We start at the end goal and then we work our back to why we should have already had it in the first place. Women start at the beginning and then you got to get to know them. All right, let's move on. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Oh, I got to read super chats. HR is feeling attacked. Oh, I read Carrie's already. Let me see if there was anything else that I missed. Shout out to Kira. Good question though. The hills have eyes. Facts. Jay Lee speaks. Wesley Turner in the building says they living in the Oregon Trail catching typhoid and snake bites. Got to suck the poison out of this. Nah, I'm good on that, bro. Kiera says, and while building myself up, I don't yet qualify for desired opportunities. How can I thoughtfully cultivate a network when I can't offer value now? That's when you got to build with people that's in the same space as you. Because everybody that's in the same space as you is not going to already be there, but they will be there one day. That is the friend group that you have. A lot of the opportunities that come from me come from people that I've already been knowing for a long time, but they are in different positions of power now. They just call me when they see an opportunity because they know that this is what I do. I call them when I see a certain opportunity because I know that that's the space that they're in. You got to build with people. You got to literally, you can't automatically work your way into it. You got to build with people. You're not going to already be there. You got to build. You got to get people attention. Carrington Love Jr. says all kind of disease at that Jim Jones historic campsite. Nicholas says that part of Arkansas is known to be racist. I don't see an issue with what they're doing though. Blacks don't even live in this part of Arkansas. Ken says send them white Africans there. I wish they just left us alone in Tulsa, Oklahoma City. Ken says y'all let them be maps in peace. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Make sure y'all tuning in after hours tonight. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. All right, y'all ready? Let's get into it. Trump and Jerome Powell. Trump pulled up on Jerome Powell. And this is what happened. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And let's get into it.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7.
Hey, look at Jerome. This is my first time watching this. Yo, why is Jerome Powell doing like this?
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2. This came from us.
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
Our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building.
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So,
not, it's not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to.
They really don't like each other. Jerome Powell and Trump genuinely don't like each other. Genuinely don't like each other. Now, I hate to say this because I know that y'all gonna feel some type of way about it, but I'm gonna say it that Trump is right. The entire project itself includes another building that was also a part of it. And so when you do a building estimate or you do an estimate, you can't segment it out and say, well, this part isn't a part of it because it already got finished. No, it's an overall project. The overall project, the budget for the project was a certain amount, and apparently it more than doubled. And so just because you don't necessarily care for the rhetoric or the language, this is the problem that we be having on after hours. This is the problem that we be having on after hours. You know what the problem is that we have on after hours? I'm gonna be glad when we get past it, but this is what it is. The problem that we have on after hours is we're specific on language and rhetoric. We are specific on language and rhetoric. And so you have to be detailed. After hours is teaching me how to communicate and to be very careful with my words before I ever even say anything. I have to articulate my argument. I got to run it back through AI in order to make sure that my definitions are clear, because boy, we will start going down this deep dive and we going to start getting into the nitty gritty of what this word is versus this word. And it ain't no, hey, we just understand what it is. We just gonna have a conversation. Oh, it gets different on after hours. Yes, it do. I'm gonna be 10 times down, 10 times up, knowing exactly what I mean, what I say before I say it, and how I say it, because that's the gauntlet. After hours is the new gauntlet. After hours is the new gauntlet. Yes, it is.
See what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use. But no, we don't. We expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
Nice to take these off every once in a while when we're not under too much danger. So, any questions?
Mr. President, as a real estate developer, what would you do with a project manager who would be over budget?
Generally speaking, what would I do? I'd fire them.
Do you think this issue, Mr. President, gives you cause to do that?
Well, I'm here just really with the chairman. He's showing us around, showing us the work. And so I don't want to get that. I don't want to be personal. I just would like to see it get finished. And in many ways, it's too bad it started. But it did start. And it's been under construction for a long time. It's going to be a real long time, because it looks like it's got a long way to go.
Yes, sir.
So,
President, are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. But other than that, what can I tell you? The country is doing really well. I just briefed the chairman on the deal we made with Japan. Japan is putting up $550 billion in order to lower their tariffs a little bit. That way they have a little bit lower tariff. And they also opened their country to free trade, which nobody thought was even a possibility. And we get a zero tariff in the free trade. We don't pay tariffs, and they're going to pay 15% on everything they send into our country. So it's great. But they put up, as you could call it, seed money. Let's call it seed money. You could call it anything you want, but it's a total of $550 billion. So nobody thought any of that was possible, and it's wonderful. And we're doing pretty well with the European Union, likewise. And we have some others. They're all really big, and our country's going to make a lot of money. We would be helped if interest rates would come down, but we're going to see how the board rules on that soon. I'd love to see them come down a lot. But we have a country that's thriving. We had a dead country 1 year ago. Today, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And we'll get this.
I think that you're never going to get a situation where Trump and Jerome Powell ever like each other. I don't think that Jerome Powell likes Trump. I don't like Trump like Jerome Powell. But the question that you have to ask yourself is, are they effective at what they do? And is it going to translate into it being better for the United States of America, which ultimately we are the ones that's going to be the beneficiaries if it does. I think that this project is stupid, obviously. They started this project and building this project. Let me see how long that when did Fed broke ground in 2022. They say initially the estimated cost of this renovation is $1.9 billion. Now it's ballooned to closer to $3.1 billion. The renovation of the Fed is costing closer to $3.1 billion. Everything with the federal government just explodes, bro. Every single thing with the federal government explodes. If you get an estimate and they say, well, this is going to cost this, just double it. Just double it. Every single thing with the federal government, it takes twice as long and it costs twice as much. Every single time. I almost think that contractors and people that bid on some of these projects know that there's going to be cost overruns. And then they automatically build that into the possibility of being able to extend a project and making way more money as a result of it. Every single time. Broke ground in 2022 and it's not even going to be done until 2027. That's insane, bro. Phenomenal. It's phenomenal if you get a government contract, 100%. Also don't understand why we not lowering interest rates. That's the one thing that I'm really trying to understand. We are doing really well as far as how we rocking out as a country. If we lower interest rates, that would absolutely blow everything out of the water. Well, Anton, how would that blow everything out of the water? Because it would make us more nimble when it comes to the cost of money. The problem right now is that the reason why we have higher interest rates is the Biden administration raised interest rates in order to try to combat record inflation during his term. So, you know, they were hiring all of these people for the federal government. We didn't have any private sector growth. We were being taken advantage of the trade deals. And so everybody was benefiting outside of the United States of America. We also had illegal migration into the country, couldn't really control the budget, and inflation was going out of control. And I remember y'all whining. 2021, 22, 23, y'all were whining. When Trump was in office the first time, we had record low inflation. It was below 2%. When Biden got into office, in some places it was estimated to be in the teens. The average universally, as far as the things that they were using as metrics to determine what inflation was, at some points hit 9 and 10%, which was insane. So what happened was the Fed started to raise interest rates in order to combat inflation and, you know, to basically make it more difficult for people to borrow money. And then it slowed up all of the growth and the progress when it came to the private sector. What Trump is saying is that we got inflation down in record amount of time. And so it's around or a little bit low, below 2%. On average, it's around 2%, which a lot of people say that that's the perfect rate of inflation. right? And we haven't lowered interest rates though. So we got more revenue coming into the country. We got more investment coming into the country. We got builders building homes. We got loans going out. But you guys, the consumers, are the ones that are paying egregious interest rates. And it applies to everything. It applies to your cars. It applies to the home loans that you get. It applies to the personal loans that you get. It applies to the interest rates that the cities pay when it comes to financing or the debt that they have on hand. So when Chicago says, okay, well, we got a $1.14 billion deficit, or when LA say we got $1 billion deficit, that also does not necessarily include the interest that they have to pay on the bonds and the loans that they've already taken out in order to fund some of the stuff that they have inside of the city. So lowering interest rates would free up more money, whether it be the cities and what they're paying in order to continue to finance, or the banks and how it is that they need to propose loans, or the interest rates that you plan paying on your credit cards, or what it is that you are financing with your car, and how much the interest rates is on homes. Lowering interest rates in times where there's low inflation is a way to really unlock your community and to unlock the economy to make sure that we running up a bag. So Trump is very heavy on trying to push Jerome Powell to basically lower interest rates so that we can have a lower cost of doing business because money is cheaper. That's what they mean when they say money is cheap. Money is cheap right now. Oh, zero interest rates, because you can allocate more money to make more money, and it don't cost you as much in order to do business. It don't cost you as much in order to do cars. Y'all, a lot of times people, let me break this down for y'all. A lot of times people are always worried about the cost of a new car, how much the cost of a home is. That's not the problem. The problem isn't the price of things. The problem is the amount that it costs you to finance it and what you're going to pay at the end of whatever it is that you bought. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't matter. The price itself don't matter. But the cost of doing business is what people need to really educate themselves on how money works. The cost of doing business, because most of the interest is front loaded on the loan. That means that you're going to be paying when you first take out that loan, whether it be your house or whether it be your car or whether it be a personal loan, you're going to be paying the majority of interest until you can start to eat into the principal more. If you look at your interest rate, if you look at your statement for your car, you're paying majority interest. You're paying majority interest. Somebody said lowering rates accelerates economic collapse. That's not true. That has never been true. That has never been true at all. Lowering interest accelerates economic growth. It accelerates economic growth because it spurs economic activity. And when you have money moving around, that is when you know that a society is prospering. When money moves around faster, that means it circulates amongst the people. When people reserve how it is that they spend money and they hoard money, that is the fastest thing that to make sure that people are not generating revenue. And you don't, okay, I'll give you an example. When LeBron James left Cleveland the first time, they say that it shut down economic activity. Whenever you see that somebody say, oh man, we about to host the Olympics, or we about to do this, or we got an event coming, they estimate the economic activity of what happens in there because people are more willing to spend money. People are willing to take flights. They're willing to go shopping. They're willing to invest in a business. They're willing to expand in a business, which then generates more revenue for business owners. That means that people are more willing to open up additional businesses because you need supportive services. It means that you're going to have more flight attendants. You're going to have more hotels. You're going to have more hotel workers. You're going to have more small businesses that benefit from it. You'll have more restaurants that open up because you have more events and people coming in there, right? You're going to have a lower interest rates, which means that they can invest more money into refurbishing the facilities, which then give more construction jobs and pull more permits, which generate more revenue inside of the city because they have more coming in. You have more homes being built inside of the city instead of vacant properties because you've opened up the opportunity for people to pull money out so that they can start spending money on things that'll make them more money. And so economic activity will actually generate more revenue because more people have the dollar circulating around them because money is cheaper to move. right? When you lock up money, that means you lock up the possibilities of generating revenue because nobody is touching nothing. That's why interest rates being low is a good thing. That's why lower taxes is a good thing, because it spurs economic activity. You're willing to spend more money to make more money, which ultimately gives you more money to then spend on the things that you like, and vacations and cars and clothes and doing stuff, because money moving around spurs economic activity. Hoarding cash is the last thing that people want to do. Hoarding cash is the last thing that you want happening within your society or your culture or your city or the government. You want money to be moving. You want money to continuously move because everybody get richer, everybody have a better time, everybody have more economic activity. That's what happens. And the cheaper that money is to borrow because inflation is low, the better off we are as a society, because people then are incentivized to do more with whatever it is that they want to do. So you gotta really educate yourself on how money works. That's the reason why we need lower taxes, because Democrats will say, or liberals will say, well, we need to tax more money and take more money from people in order to give it out to people. No, that's not how it works. You incentivize people to generate more revenue on their own by spurring more economic activity. If he's paying less in taxes, that means that he has more money to spend and invest inside of society, which then generates more revenue for whatever city that they live in or for whatever state that they live in. That's why everybody is leaving California. California had to turn back on these movie credit incentives in order to get people to, get more films being made inside of Hollywood, because it put more workers. They have to shut down streets. They have to pull more permits. They have to keep their business inside of California because they have these tax incentives for movies, because it's Hollywood and they have more economic activity, and you have more visitors wanting to come and see the walk and all of this other type of stuff. You need money moving around. You have to have money moving around. You don't have money moving around, you're dead in the water. You're dead in the water. If nobody is going out to small businesses to spend money because everybody is trying to reserve, then it's all going to be messed up. It's not just the incentives alone. Come on, man. Come on. I need y'all to, don't worry about it. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. If the tax on the brick go down, what's the dealers going to do? Buy more. Facts. Facts. That is 100% true. Think about it, right? I don't want to do the drug references, but let's use cars. Who's the most profitable automaker? Y'all don't usually have to use ChatGPT. We just going to go ahead and guesstimate. At points, they say Porsche was the most profitable automaker, because Porsche, and when they say profitable, they're saying that the cost, right? The cost of what it is that it takes for them to make a vehicle versus what they sell it for. Why did Porsche make the Cayenne? Their margins were the highest, right? Meaning that the cost for them to make a car versus what they sell it for, but they were a low volume automaker. So what they did was they made the Cayenne. The Cayenne gave them the opportunity to increase volume at a lower cost, right? The Cayenne didn't cost as much as the 911. You understand what I'm saying? The Macan or the Macan didn't cost as much as the Cayenne. And so it allowed for them to break a barrier to where they can still have decent margins, move more product, and increase profitability, right? You got to have a strong balance between how much product that you want to use, quality versus quantity, quality versus quantity. Some people will drop a video and it do 100,000 views, and they say, well, it didn't take as much time for me to do it. I'll drop one video every 2 or 3 days. I'm going to drop 6 videos that do 75,000 views a piece. Now I have to start playing with my margins. How much time do it take for me to make it? how can I make this a little, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into it. It's a lot of people that got a lot of subscribers, but they don't make a lot of money. It's a lot of people that got a lot of subscribers that don't make a lot of money. They have a lot of visibility. They have a big number, but it doesn't necessarily translate because they don't really understand the quantity versus the quality equation. And they don't really know the cost benefit analysis of what it is that they putting out, the product that they putting out, and the product is the same. Don't matter if you're a dope boy, it don't matter if you're a content creator, don't matter if you're a volume dealer when it comes to a restaurant. Margins, quality, product, cost benefit analysis. We're not going to get into that because that's Patreon level content, and I'm not going to deep dive into that. We going to get into that this weekend when it comes to the content creation live streams that we're going to do. But I'm not going to get into it. We'll talk about it later. Anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. A lot of people don't understand the money side of it. They know how to do stuff nice, but they don't understand the money side of it. Just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. We're going to do the Patreon live stream. As soon as I get back home. This internet it's a demon. It's a demon. Now, the question that I had to start asking myself is, how can I get it up to 100,000 per video? We did that. I'm not going to tell you how. That's for Patreon level. All right. Now we doing 40 something million views, 2 to 3 million watch hours a month. We care about watch hours. We don't even care about views no more. We care about watch hours. What do we want to talk about now? Did Trump? Let's do this homelessness one. So Trump is signing an executive order to basically clear homelessness or clear homeless encampments. So this is important for us to talk about, is because this is something that California was supposed to have solved for a long time ago. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
President Trump has signed a new executive order aimed at cracking down on homeless encampments. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in downtown LA with the details. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Good morning to you. Yeah, that new executive order from the president aimed at making it easier for cities and states across the country to remove homeless people from the streets. We want to get straight to that language of the order from the White House so you can see a little bit of it for yourself. It says it is targeted at removing, quote, vagrant individuals from our streets and redirects federal funds towards programs that tackle substance abuse. This order seeking to shift federal grant funding to states and cities that enforce prohibitions on urban camping, enforce prohibitions on drug use, and adopt policies allowing people with serious mental illnesses or substance abuse disorders to be forced into treatment. The governor responding to Trump's new executive order, saying it is more focused on creating distracting headlines than producing a positive impact. About a year ago, Newsom issued an order encouraging cities in the state to dismantle homeless encampments, recently criticizing California cities and counties for not doing enough on this issue.
I'm not interested in funding failure anymore. I'm not. I won't.
So you're not interested in funding yourself because Gavin Newsom's entire platform was built off of the idea that he was going to solve the homelessness problem in California. That's a fact. Gavin Newsom's entire campaign and platform was built around the idea that he was going to clean up homelessness in these cities. And they've spent tens of billions of dollars in California, and it has gotten absolutely worse. So if you are saying you're not interested in funding failure anymore, then you're talking about yourself. This is a fact. I have been very, very vigilant on learning as much as I can about homelessness in California. I've been covering it for a long time on this particular platform. And now he's sitting here criticizing the very thing that he said that he would solve. And so Trump is basically saying, listen, we're going to redirect these funds. And we're not just going to give California a blank check in the name of homelessness anymore. What we're going to do is that if people want to get off of the streets, then they're going to have to join these programs that put them on a pathway to eventually being self-sustaining and not having to depend entirely on the system and living on the streets and destroying our streets. That is basically what this executive order does. It redirects funds to force people to want to do better for themselves. If they want to continue to receive funding, this is the way that they got to do it. And I'm going to tell you, it's 100% correct. And the reason why it's correct is because if you've dealt with homelessness in any capacity whatsoever, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anton, what are you talking about? The face of homelessness and the reasons why a lot of people don't get off of it is because they're not forced to. So I'll give you an example. Some people say, why are y'all living on the street? Well, we don't have enough shelter. It's shelter. It's shelter, it's resources, it's funding, it's pathways for people to get out of the situation. If you deal with most of these people, because I've done a lot of volunteer work, even today, I still go and visit and I give money and stuff like that. I will tell you, most people prefer to be on the streets because they don't want to do what nobody tells them to do. Most people prefer to live on the streets. But people, these ultra liberal people that be sitting out here saying, oh, we could have solved homelessness. No, you can't. You'll never solve it. You know why? Because they don't want to be told what to do. They know that they can't bring drug paraphernalia inside of a shelter in order for them to stay. They know that they can't be high. They know that they ain't gonna be able to come and go as they please, and they got to be in there all night, or they can't just come in at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And so what they choose to do is to stay on the streets because they don't want to be told what to do. That is the honest to God truth. This is what I've seen. This is what I've worked with my own personal eyes. They don't like being told what to do. And so they be like, you know what? I'd rather be out here on the streets than sitting there, somebody telling me that I got to be in there by 12 o'clock at night. That's the honest to goodness truth. And so the only thing that you can do is you can control the funding and where the resources go. You cannot make anybody do what they don't want to do. I got to be in here by a certain time. I got to make sure that I do this in order to catch a shower. I got to be here in order to be able to get this food. Skip that. I'd rather be on the streets, and I just hustle up myself a couple dollars in order to eat. That is the majority of people. They do not want to be told what to do. They don't want to go to no substance abuse treatment programs. They don't want to be worked with. Bro, this is how I know that being poor, that the poorer you are, the more difficult it is to work with people. It be people inside of this chat that criticize rich people and it ain't got a dollar to their name, living paycheck to paycheck, but they know every goddamn thing. They'll tell you about what it is that's happening in society. And it's just funny because I'll be like, you don't even know nothing. If you so smart, then how come you haven't implemented it in your own life? If you're so smart, if you know everything, it's a system. No, man, because this is a system. That's why I'm not able to make no money. That's why I'm not able to hold no job. No, it's because you got a bad attitude. It's difficult for you to work with. You don't want to be told what to do, and you're liable to go off on somebody every time somebody give you a direction or when somebody tell you that you need to do your job. That's what it is. And what I've realized is that the poorer that you are, the more poverty-stricken that you become, all the way down to drug abuse and homelessness, the more belligerent people are. They will sit there and go off on you for not giving them some more money. They're not thankful. I've seen people and you know what I'm saying, getting food in the food line or whatever, and they be like, give me some more. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Y'all don't believe me.
Let me go outside. More stuff. Usually
Mom. Older people, they different. They're absolutely different. 100% different.
Hey, Anton.
Hey, I'm on a live stream. I seen you had called me. What'd you need?
I didn't need anything. I just needed to hear your voice. That's all.
Oh, you so sweet.
I just wanted to hear my son's voice. And besides being on the left for women, we are on the live stream right
Yeah, I'm on a live stream.
now? Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you
But
cool.
anyway,
You can
glad
call
I
me
heard your
anytime.
voice. Thank you, my baby. Oh, that's all I needed. Now I feel good. I feel better.
You so sweet. How you enjoying your vacation?
Oh, I'm back home, but the vacation was amazing. Your Bermuda was the ship, all of it. Everything was absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good time. Hey, I got a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Remember when we were serving, I don't know if you remember, but remember when we would serve homeless people?
Yes, I do. I remember that. Yeah.
How was their attitudes when we served homeless people?
Arrogant, entitled, very, very nasty. They wanted more. We was giving baskets of food out, and if it wasn't what they wanted, when we came out, they had thrown it on the ground, literally. We were giving out blankets, and they were saying, because they was lined up, and we would give you don't have no blue blankets. I don't want this. They were extremely entitled. We were feeding them hot food, and they were like, "This is it. You ain't got no such and such, no so and so. But just give me the turkey in." Dang, they was very, very. They were terrible. The most entitled people I've ever seen or heard from. I didn't know that they were that way until I actually dealt with them one-on-one, personally, face-to-face. I've always heard about this kind of stuff, but it's like the more you do for them, the more they expect. I feel like you should do. Sad but true.
Yep, I agree. All right, thanks, babe. I'll call you back.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Listen, bro, listen. I know that some of y'all may not be familiar because you haven't been in the trenches dealing with these people, but it is never. That's why I'm so used to dealing with belligerent people on this live stream, because I know how to deal with belligerent people in real life. In order to deal with a homeless person, not all, but most, overwhelmingly most, in order to deal with homeless people, overwhelmingly, you got to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive in order to get home, the same way that it takes in order to deal with certain black people. In order to deal with homeless people, you gotta cut through. Man, who the fuck you talking to? Man, if you don't take this food and shut up. All right. Okay, all right. My bad. They'll test you. They'll try you. They will test you. You think that they just got there by mistake? They got a series of life bad decisions and a series of bad attitudes that ultimately led them to this position. You think that you're going to go out there on Thanksgiving or whatever? We serve homeless people. We give money. We deal with these people on a regular basis. I took my mom out there one day with me in order to help me and serve and stuff like that. And she was like, Anton, this ain't nothing but a bunch of demons out here that think that they know something. And I can't believe, oh, look at how disrespectful he is. Oh my God, he threw that. He did this, he did that. I'm telling you, bro, some of the most evil people I've ever met in my entire life are dealing with people that don't want to be told what to do. Ain't got a pot to piss in, ain't got a dime to their name, and they will be 100% on 10 with you. They will cuss you out, call you a B to your face, and throw your junk in the trash. You will have a brand new thing in the bag. Yo, listen, we was giving out these sleeping bags, but it doubled as a coat. So in the daytime, or whatever, if it get cold outside, it's a coat, and it's like a big old bubble coat. But then it doubles as like a sleeping bag at night in order to keep you. It's sweet as hell. Man, them people was so disrespectful. And then, you know, because I'm downtown and so I'm able to see everything that's going on. They'll be over there inside of the corner, laid out on the street, cold as hell, ain't got no socks on. You trying to help them, you'll see them later on, they'll be laid out cold in the mug. You tried to give them some shelter, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care, bro. It is some of the hardest things to deal with. And so in order to understand a problem, you got to understand a culture. And what California has done up to this point is they've thrown a bunch of money at the wall and it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. You try to get them into a drug pre-treatment program, they don't want drug treatment programs. They want needles. If you try to get them into a drug treatment program, they don't want drug treatment programs. They don't want to get off that boy. They don't want that monkey off their back. They want better needles so that they can do more drugs. So what we do as a culture is because we're so weak. Oh my God, I love homeless people. It's so cold. Can't believe Jeff Bezos makes so much money and he had a lavish wedding. We need to take more money from him and throw it all at the wall again. So what we do as a culture, we say, well, we gonna enable bad behavior. We're not gonna force you into get yourself clean. We're not gonna get things together. We're just gonna enable bad behavior. Yeah, you niggas can go ahead and build some tents in front of all of the businesses. Y'all can throw dookie on the street. You can get some more needles. You give them needles, you're gonna see more needles on the ground. You think these people is logical? You think these people are logical? It's a system to where the people that get the money, they just making money because they holding on to positions and they pretending like they solving for the problem. They ain't doing nothing, bro.
Time to do your job. People are dying on their watch. Look at these encampments. They're a disgrace. They've been there years and years and years and years. I've heard that same rhetoric for years. People are dying.
He's the worst governor ever.
Back in May, the body of a mother and Army veteran was found at a homeless encampment. Her death later ruled an accident due to drug use. 46-year-old Lucrecia Macias Barajas was found dead alongside the body of a man inside a sidewalk tent in the Westlake district near downtown LA. Neighbors said at least one of the bodies found in the tent had been partially eaten by dogs.
If you lived outside of this yourself, if this was something you saw every time you had to step out, invite your neighbors, invite your family in, then you would see reality. You would see reality extremely differently. This isn't something that belongs right here in Los Angeles. This is third world country problems. People are dying.
New numbers released.
Look at that. Do y'all see that?
This past week show the number of homeless people in our region has decreased for a second year in a row. But that small decline is not to minimize the crisis we are dealing with here in our area. And we're going to bring up some numbers in order for you to see exactly that. LASA finding an...
And this is not a decrease, okay? This is showing you the difference between how many homeless people are in LA County versus how many people are in LA City, okay? The county versus the city. This is not a decrease in homelessness. This is how many people that they estimate are living homeless. Now, that don't also have anything to do with RV campers, van life, none of them people.
LA County, there are an estimated whopping 72,000 people experiencing homelessness. That is, again, in LA County. And here in the city, the count is over 43,000. Even so, local officials calling the decline a victory.
We believe that the drops in unsheltered homelessness in the city and the county are a direct result of their encampment resolution efforts. Over the last 2 years, our leaders came together to bring people inside.
These people are spending billions, and I mean billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of people. They are spending an enormous amount of resources trying to allegedly solve for this problem, and it's not making a dent.
Controversial move to address this in San Francisco, banning RVs from being parked on the city streets for more than a couple of hours past. NBC Barry's Sergio Quintana has more from City Hall, where that just happened.
During an event on the steps of San Francisco City Hall, some people wore black veils. They say one provision the Board of Supervisors is considering today represents the death of democracy.
Fight, fight, fight! Housing is a human right! Fight, fight, fight! Housing is a human right!
I hate these people, and with every fiber in my body. These people aggravate me so much. I can't stand these type of people. They make my skin crawl, bro. They genuinely make my skin crawl. They aggravate me so high to the highest epistivity. It's just annoying. It's just annoying for no reason at all. They just be out there just doing stuff. Honest to God, bro. Fight, fight, fight. Housing is a human right. Shut the hell up, bro. Don't know nothing about what's happening, bro. Just aggravate me. Aggravate me so much, bro.
Proposition C was passed in 2018 and allocates certain taxes collected from large businesses in the city to be spent on homelessness initiatives. Half of that money is earmarked for permanent supportive housing. The rest goes to mental health, homeless prevention, and temporary shelters. Any changes to that mix of spending would need a supermajority of the Board of Supervisors to approve. Today's vote changes that to a simple majority. Homeless advocates say that goes against the will of the voters who overwhelmingly approved Prop C in 2018.
When 61% of San Franciscans voted to support Our City, Our Home, they did so knowing what this measure would do, which was dedicate funding largely to housing.
Mayor Daniel Lurie wants to allocate some money from permanent supportive housing to his scaled back plan for more temporary shelter beds. The second issue this group is rallying against is a change to the city's parking code for large vehicles like RVs. The ordinance seeks to limit parking to only 2 hours across the city.
So basically what you see in a lot of these places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, so on and so forth, is you see a lot of people that basically permanently park their RVs in places, and it has now become a campsite. Regular everyday locations on the street in California, which includes San Francisco and Los Angeles, they have become campsites. People have, if something move, something is coming in to take its place immediately. RVs have turned into campsites. Some of these RVs don't even move. Some of these RVs have not moved. They are basically the housing location of a lot of places. It's crazy, ain't it? Insane. Y'all know how I feel about van life, right? Y'all know how I feel about van life, right? Amazing. Amazing. It is bad. It is bad. Some of these places, y'all know how much I love it out here in California. Can't wait to get home tomorrow, but y'all know how much I love it here in California. Some of these places, it's not even worth going, bro. It's not even worth going. It ain't like the campers. It ain't like the big RVs that you're going across country in. These is permanent housing for a lot of these people.
Instead of the current overnight limit in some neighborhoods.
You think that place ain't moved? That van ain't moved. That truck ain't moved. Ain't nothing moved. Amazon had to put up a fence. You see the Amazon big warehouse facility right there? Amazon put up a fence because it had to start protecting its own property from the stuff that these van life people are doing.
This policy is not an anti-homelessness policy. This is an anti-homeless people policy. It's designed to drive us out because they don't like seeing us. They don't like us being around. They don't like us being on the street.
Homeless advocates say both measures represent a sharp turn in the way City Hall will deal with the unhoused in San Francisco. Supervisor Myrna Melgar is a co-sponsor of the RV policy. She says people already in the city can continue living in their RVs for a while at least with a new permit.
So that folks who are already in San Francisco can get a sticker to be able to remain on the street for 6 months and renewable after those 6 months.
The hope is the current 427 RV residents can figure out how to get more permanent housing in the city or elsewhere. The full Board of Supervisors approved both measures.
Yeah, California, when it comes to homelessness, is a mess. And it is, it's just a mess. You said, isn't this how hippies live? It's 100% how hippies live. It's 100% how hippies live. I want to do a segment or maybe allocate a day or something like that on After Hours where we discuss only social issues. I'm thinking that maybe we can segment it like Tuesdays is popular culture, Thursdays is relationships, and Fridays is I don't know, like certain subjects. I'm thinking that I may want to change the platform to be that, but I don't know. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think that we should just keep After Hours exactly like it is and just continuing to upgrade the platform? Or do you think that we should allocate certain days for certain conversations on After Hours? Fridays is freestyle. Maybe only make Thursdays relationships. Something like that. Leave it. K. Cooper says, leave it like it is. Got to give Quentin a day to crash out. Just do a variety every day. I like that, Clavetta. Just do a variety every day. Yeah, we just transition through all of these different subjects. Keep it the same. That's what we do already. We just do the variety every day. Yesterday we talked about Candace Owens getting sued, along with marriage and relationships, and Taylor Rooks getting married. So I don't know. We'll see. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to Add More Sauce. Says, a church I used to attend went to feed the homeless. We saw a guy only eat the chicken and left the container on the curb. That's exactly what they be doing. They do what they want to do when they want to do it. Most of the time, like if they asking for money and you say, you know, what do you want money or whatever? How can I, no, they'll ask you for money. Hey, big dog, can I get a couple dollars? They always lie to you. Can I get a couple dollars? I'm just trying to get a bus ride or whatever, so on and so forth, right? They'd be like, nah, or they'll say, can I get a couple dollars? I'm gonna get a bus ride, go give me something to eat. And if you say, well, I could buy you some food, I'm straight. I'm good. Go in there and go get some food for him and give it to him. If you want to, you're gonna waste your money. Go in there and get some food for him and give it to him if you want to. You're going to waste your money. Rand Wilson says, didn't read a chase and caught you in traffic. I don't even know what that means. Shout out to you on Cash App. Rob Beautiful. What up, Rob? Says, I was working downtown and we had an office party. There was a lot of chicken left. I took it to give to the homeless. I always saw outside the building, and the lady tried to give it to. It was rude as hell. I took the chicken back. Bro, there is nobody more entitled than a person that don't have nothing. Mon says, just read the title. Looks like black folks have officially rebirthed racism with our racism and idiocy, which racism was on life support, officially doing the opposite of what we claimed. No, we was actually cool. It was a segment where we basically did where we were documenting white people self-segregating into the Ozarks of Arkansas, and they're not bothering nobody. And so everybody generally had the same sentiment that it was okay for people to do what they wanted to do as long as they wasn't affecting anybody. So it was cool, man. It was cool. Everybody actually agreed. Surprisingly, everybody agreed on the same thing. So I want to do this one segment. I want to talk about the money. And it was this segment on CNBC where it says even high earners are living paycheck to paycheck. And so I wanted to go into that.
Wheel. No matter how hard they run, it never feels like enough. Americans on average say they would need $520,000 a year to feel rich. And the more people earn, the more they say they need to feel comfortable. Americans making under $50,000 felt they needed $157,000 a year to feel comfortable. Those making $100,000 or more said they would need $246,000.
When I was in middle school, a song came out called Mo Money, Mo Problems. And I think that that's true. Your problems scale. You still are dealing with a finite number every month. Your worries, your anxiety, your budget scales to that. You still are dealing with a ceiling.
About 14% of all U.S. households make $200,000 or more every year. But many of them, dubbed Henrys or high earners, not rich yet, still don't.
Yo, they need to give credit, Kevin Samuels his credit. Kevin Samuels popularized that term, and people don't want to give him his credit. Kevin Samuels popularized the term Henrys, high earners, not rich yet. I don't know why people don't just give him his credit that he deserved. Kevin Samuels popularized the term Henrys. The first time that I ever heard what a Henry was, it was from Kevin Samuels. He came up and popularized the term high earners, not rich yet. People got to stop stealing popular culture terms and acting like they came up with it. That was Kevin Samuels. He was the architect. He was the godfather of popularizing that term. It's just the truth. Let's continue.
Feel rich. 62% of people with salaries over $300,000 a year struggle with credit card debt.
Earning doesn't actually make you feel rich. Spending it does. If most people spent 99% of their paycheck, they'd feel quite rich. And it's the paradox here. When we're in accumulation mode, it's very difficult to feel rich.
It can be pretty easy for someone to feel like I'm making really good money, but I don't have a lot of discretionary income.
Earning more and feeling like you're still on a hamster wheel is what a lot of Henrys experience. And that's because they're not living within their means. They may have been living above their means when they weren't nearly making as much money. And now they're just continuing to add more and more and more.
I earn $300,000 and I live in New York City. I definitely don't feel rich. I feel very lucky. I feel privileged, but I do not feel rich. I could not stop working right now. I have more money anxiety almost now than I ever did in my 20s.
Most of these people, they have lifestyle problems. They don't have money problems. We are spoiled. We are so spoiled here in America. And if you're sitting here telling me that you make $300,000 a year and you have money problems, the only money problems that you should have at $300,000 a year is maybe tax problems. That's it. That's the only thing that I can think of that you should have a problem with is tax problems. That's it. Because that can get away from you fast and that could become problematic, and you got to figure out how to look at everything from a business perspective. If you make $300,000 a year, I don't care where you live. I don't care if people always try to make excuses. Oh, because I live in New York City. Oh, because I live down in Miami. Oh, because I live in Los Angeles and it's very expensive out here. Shut up. Shut up. That's a lie. That's all a lie. It ain't got nothing to do with the city. It got everything to do with your lifestyle choices. It don't have nothing to do with the city. It has everything to do with your lifestyle choices. 100%. 100%. Everybody that, listen, the reason why people live paycheck to paycheck that make a decent amount of money, that make an extraordinary amount of money, is because they increase their lifestyle to match whatever it is that their income is. And I can't even blame them because most people do it. I can't blame them. And society also plays a role, and y'all so stupid for feeding into that dumb stuff that you fall victim to it. I can't tell you how many times people said, because people pocket watch, right? And so they say, man, you can't be rich because you're not living in a mansion. But it's only 3 of us. Why do I need a mansion? I need a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place max. That's what I need. Anything more than that is a want. That is a lifestyle choice. I don't need anything. I need 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. That's what I need. When I tell people, oh man, I only live off of 5%, maybe 5 to 7% of my income, maybe 10%, depending on what month it is, people be like, what do you mean? You know why? Because I buy the things that I want. And so I don't feel at this point in my life, maybe a year or two from now, maybe even 10 years from now, maybe I'll build a bigger house. Who knows? Right now, I like living in my apartment, in my corporate apartment downtown. I like going to my corporate apartment downtown. It's awesome because I prefer the views versus caring more about the amount of space that I'm not going to use. I got bedrooms in my corporate apartment that I don't even use. Bedrooms in my like, we have to start taking inventory of what our life really is. What do you really need? And you got to give yourself a budget. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that you should be spending any more than 20 to 25% of what it is that you take, what it is that you make on housing. All of y'all going up to 30%, 40%. Man, listen, stay under 20% if you can. If you saying, oh man, Anton, that's not an accurate representation, I would say that you just bougie and you think you got to be better and all of that stuff. Oh, I got to live in a high-end neighborhood. Oh, I got to do this. No, you don't. No, you don't. And this is why I was getting on y'all when they always trying to tell me, no, I should be able to buy a house. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to buy a house on your own when you're 18, 19, 21, 22, 23 years old. That's not how it works. Maybe you need to stay home. Practice group economics. Get your budget together. Get your budget together. That's not how it works. When my brothers bought their homes in the 90s, they was out living on their own. And my parents said, y'all come on home and stay here for the next few years and thug it out. Thug it out. And we going to stack up. And they was married with kids. And then not only that, they practiced group economics together to buy a home. My two oldest brothers, who are a year apart, they went and bought their first home together. It's the honest to God truth. This is how we were able to maintain wealth within ourselves and not ever have to struggle because we were ready to stay home with each other. It was me. Listen, my two older brothers have moved out. I thought I was winning because I had the basement. Then my older brothers came back because, hey, man, mom and dad said we need to come stay home so we can save and we could buy a house. They was there for years and we just thugged it out, skip it. Had my nephews, practically raised them. It was a whole lot of us. We had a small house in Detroit. It was me, my mom, my dad, all four of my brothers, their two wives, and my three nephews. And we thugged it out. We just had a good time. We was partying. We would stay up late at night laughing and talking and stuff like that. We just had a good time. It just was what it was. We thugged it out. It was tight. It was cramped. But we had a ball. We was laughing. That's why when I got into trouble and I went broke in 2008, I was like, yo, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming. I'm back where I belong. I never felt so strong in. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Back to what I know. Time to thug it out. time to thug it out. Woo! I could struggle by myself or I could get myself back together and practice group economics. Practice group economics. My dad, then he went and got a job as the maintenance guy. He said, Anton, we got a townhouse over here because him and my mom had moved into a townhouse in the facility. And he said, Anton, we got a townhouse because I was back on my feet. I was good. And so we had moved out. And I was doing really well. And he said, yo, Anton, it's a townhouse over here. I said, how much is it? He said, I can get it to you for free. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. And you know what? I got the proof. It's funny. I got the proof. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. Rented out the place that I had bought. I rented that out and I went and lived for free. Rented out the place that I had bought and I went and lived for free. Real talk. All of this, oh my God, we deserve it. We need to get in together, all of this other type of stuff. No, I was chilling. I was slow motion. Coming home. I'm coming home. See if I can find some of these old videos of where I was living at. Oh man, that's my daughter too. I see you, Les. There it is. There it is. This was well over 10 years ago. This is the crib that I had bought. Hold on, let me see if I can get it up. That's why I always got the receipts. So my daughter and I, Leslie, we are heading to. This is why you need a beard, fellas. You can't be out here operating without a beard. You got to have a beard. The library, and we're gonna enjoy some fun time there, and then we're just gonna go from there. I used to take my daughter to the library, and she was over there checking out books and DVDs. Taking her to the library, and then this was the house that I was living in. Surprisingly, I was able to get some physical activity, and they have like this little spot by the lake or whatever. This was over 10 years ago, literally. And got the Cadillac right there, got the Mustang in the driveway. We was wind up, one thing led to another. Next thing you know, we was out there racing. I was out there racing with teenagers and stuff like that. And surprisingly, my daughter, we bought the bike ride, do a little bit of bike riding in the neighborhood. And Liberal Anton was out here in these streets. Liberal Anton, that's the house that I had. That was one of the first houses that I purchased. And so I was living good. I was straight. I was living good. I was straight. I was doing just fine. And then my dad was like, yo, Tom. It's a crib over here. I got a townhouse. That's me working out in the driveway. Right? This is a video. All of that. Next thing you know, I moved and I went more reserved. I said, you know what? That's me with the Mustang right there. I was having a good time. What's going on is Anton. Yeah. I take out of town all the time. It's a phenomenal car, but I do have a Mustang, the new 5.0 GT. So I'm kind of neglecting it a little bit because I don't drive it that often. Very rarely do I drive it at all. Bike life. I gotta have some. I was chilling. I was doing just fine. And so I had to make some executive decisions if I wanted to continue to increase the bag. And I had to make sure that I ran up a bag. And then my dad and them, they lived right down the street. And so that's what it is that I did. And so, you know, documenting the life, getting to the bag, making sure you get the money, and you go from there. But my point is this, and this was a small basement in the townhouse that we was in right here. Anyway, Planet Fitness. Mondays, cleaning up the basement.
Or whatever that's supposed to make up for it.
And then you live life. But all of these people think that you're supposed to just automatically have it all, that you're supposed to run up a bag, that as soon as you make a little bit of money, that you're supposed to be having all of the motion and all of that stuff. And that's not how it works. You have to lower your lifestyle. You have to lower your lifestyle. You have to lower your lifestyle in order to jump up and run up a bag. I made a decision. Man, I'm starting to get all of these cars. I had the Cadillac, I had the Mustang, I had another car, I had the motorcycle. You know what? Dad called, yo, Anton, got a townhouse over here. How much is it? Free. We're going to keep this house. We're going to pay it off. We're going to we're going to make sure that we go and live for free. And then we're going to continue to live. You got to make some executive decisions. You cannot. I'm not taking this flat back off the screen either. I want y'all to see it. You cannot think that you're going to get ahead by out earning. That's not how it works. What I realize is that, okay, as I continue to increase earnings, I need to reduce what my lifestyle is like, and I need to put more money into my investments. See, when people go back and they say, man, why was he living in this? See, you didn't want to go back to the older videos and start looking at what I was living in before that, because just because you reduce your lifestyle doesn't mean that you're poor. It means that you're making a decision so you can benefit later in your future. I'd rather had threw all of that money into paying off the real estate, putting all of that money into making sure that I bolstered up what I got going on inside of my brokerage account, putting all of that money into my investments instead of spending money on something that I can control. If I got an opportunity to live for free, you think I'm not taking it? And I lived there in that townhouse, in that small townhouse, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I lived in that townhouse until my father died and I couldn't live for free anymore. Then that's when I said, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and get back out and break out again. We're going to go ahead and break out and live again. I'm not telling you, I don't give y'all advice that I have not lived. I'm not giving y'all advice that I have not proven. If you want to go back and look at it and look for the proof, is there. My old videos are still there. It's a lifestyle choice that y'all are making a bad decision on. You keep telling me I'm out of touch. You don't know. No, I'm not out of touch. I know exactly what it takes in order to get there. I know exactly what it takes to get there. You don't want to make the sacrifice because you're so worried about what the rest of the world is going to think about you. Oh man, they're going to call me this. They're going to call you that. No, call me rich. Call me what you want, but call me rich. And that's why you document the journey, so that you can see where you came from, so you know where you're going. Yes, I am very much, you sitting there, keep on giving y'all was giving y'all kids iPads. I was taking my kid to the library. In their most formative years, she had a library card. We wasn't sitting there trying to teach our kids how to be the most modern. Your kid is out there robbing people because you didn't give them any set of principles. My child, I made sure that I was with her every day and I taught her what it meant to read books. That's why she's such a great reader. That's why she's so dedicated. That's why she's so focused on what her father tells her, because I was very active in her life. See, look, these times are different, AD. You can only give your advice. You don't want to listen. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You're not looking for solutions. You niggas is looking to complain. You're not looking for solutions. You're not taking the insight. You just want to complain. You got it. You do it your way, and then we're going to see how that work out for you.
I'm on a hamster wheel, and there's no question about it.
Henrys often don't feel rich compared to others. Many Henrys are cash rich and asset poor. So they're typically people under 40. They don't have childcare hours available. They're first-time home buyers in the housing market. They're paying off student loans early, hopefully. And their income usually hasn't hit a career peak. So they're very much in that not rich yet bucket. but they very well could be in the future.
Oh, I 100% feel like a Henry.
Marian Contreras was a professional composer, band leader, and pianist who started her virtual assistant business in 2016.
That year, I started to grow slowly, and I was suddenly earning more money than I had ever earned in my life. And I think the number was something like $35,000 by the end of the year. And I went, wow, this is really great. I can grow this.
She then expanded into a digital marketing consulting agency during the pandemic.
For the calendar year of 2025, we're just on track to make 1.4 million. We're hoping to get to 1.5 or possibly even 1.6. I'm anticipating my owner's draw to be anywhere between 300,000 and 400,000. Had a pretty successful career as a musician through most of my 20s. The thing they don't tell you about having a career as a musician in music school is that you can be playing Carnegie Hall, which I was, and I was making $15,000 a year. And I didn't realize how much freedom money affords you. Now that I see the kind of freedom that somebody who earns what I do or even more has, that's my goal. That is absolutely what gets me out of bed in the morning.
A lot of the high earners, not rich yet, they're first generation wealth. So they still take their wealth into perspective against their family members or others in their community, and they realize how well they're doing. So they don't take it for granted. But I think what makes them feel not rich is we were told once you make six figures, all of your problems will go away. You'll just have so much excess. And I think we know that narrative is not true anymore.
I would have thought back then that the amount of money that I have in the bank right now, I would be rich. I would have just thought, oh yeah, she's made it. And I don't feel that way. I know that I am on a hamster wheel with my business.
Did you hear what this woman said? She said her business is on track to take in 1.4 million. Her owner's draw, meaning the amount that she pays herself, will be about 300,000 plus. And she's sitting here talking about she's on a hamster wheel. This is the entitlement. This is the entitlement. This is the lifestyle that people live. Listen, bro, they out here doing dinners. They doing all of the stuff that they want to do. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you really want to break through, bro, you got to make sure that you generate the revenue while at the same time minimizing the costs. It's a basic solution. It's not rocket science. It's not none of that. Whatever controllable that you can control, that's what you do. Whatever controllable that you can control, that's what you do. For you young people that's sitting there watching this right now, and mama saying, "Oh, when you moving out?" Say, probably about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Just say, I don't really want to leave. Don't worry, they don't really want you to leave. And you gotta sauce her up, sauce your mom and your daddy up. Mom, I love being around y'all. I don't never want to leave. I don't want you to go either, baby. What you leaving for? Because you know it costs you more to stay on campus than it do for you to stay at home and go into the classrooms. All you trying to do is get some box. Nah, dog, chill out, bro. Now, you don't want to talk about that, though. You don't want to talk about. Y'all have lifestyle choices. Half of you niggas wanted to get it. You couldn't control your dick. So you decided to get a chick pregnant. Now you want child support. All times is different. It's not, nigga. They had child support in our day. They got child support in your day. I realized that I didn't want to allocate a percentage of my money over to paying child support. So guess what? I don't pay child support. You pay child support, you made a bad life decision. Eat that shit. That's your fault. That's a personal decision, bro. You want to keep flying hoes in, Roof Chris and all of that, nigga, and you got to take your daughter. I see you niggas doing extreme proms. Nigga, my daughter was at the library. We was watching the hand shows, the puppet shows, and we was having a good time for free. Nigga, we was renting DVDs from the library. I learned that from 2008 when I was broke. I said, okay, so this is how they do it. When my daughter got old enough, Dad, what we doing today? Going to the library. She had a good time. She was learning the Dewey Decimal System and all of that. Library is fun. It's fun for kids. They don't know no better. They don't know no better. Library time. Yeah, we get to go to the library. They was excited. Library time. No, but you got to show off. You want to take your kids to Disney World. Nigga, we going to the library. We can watch Disney World on the library books. We're going to read about it. Disney World in the library. You making bad life decisions and it's draining your life force, and you increasing your value, you're increasing your lifestyle to match the expectations of the people around you. You keep listening to these hoes on the internet. Oh no, I ain't never going on no coffee date. Okay, keep taking her over there to Ocean Prime and see how that work out for you. Keep taking her to Ocean Prime. I seen a woman yesterday. She said, men that invite you over to cook with them. Listen, that's cool. Y'all don't know how to say no. Okay, well, you just not for me, baby. It's cool. I'm cool. Nice to meet you. Keep moving. You want to meet the expectations of a woman. You don't get it. You don't get it. We were living fine. We were cool, and we didn't even have to spend. You know what we did for fun? We went bike riding. You just seen it. Me and my daughter, we about to go bike riding. Ain't even cost me no money. You got lifestyle problems. You don't have affordability problems. You have a lifestyle problem. You make decent money. You have enough money to be able to pay off your debt and make the investments and live a phenomenal life. You don't want to do it because you keep on going to Tulum. Got a lifestyle problem. That's messed up. It's messed up, your car. And I didn't start living a life that breaking out until I hit a certain number. When I retired in 2019, I said, all right, we got the racks now. We got the bags. We M's. We up M's now. M's in assets, M's in what's in your brokerage account. And then I still went back to work. I said, man, I'm a hustler. I'm about to sit here and do none of that stuff. I'm a hustler. And then they showed me how to make even way more money on this time. And then I could take what I learned from spending years inside of the library. My work study job in college was in the library. All I read was investment books. And then I learned even more on how to, man, I said, bro, this is light work. This is light work. You ain't got to tell me twice. Anyways, make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Here's the lesson. Stop making excuses and go get that money and make better decisions when you get it. It ain't the system that's against you. It ain't systematic oppression. You don't need no help. You just got bad life decisions and you need to change them. That's it. You don't have an earning problem. You make more than enough money. You have a bad lifestyle. Your lifestyle is trash. And you got to pay for a lot of those old habits. You got to pay off your student loans. You got to pay off your credit card debt. You financed a car that you didn't need in order to impress some hoes that ain't even with you no more. You made bad decisions. It ain't got nothing to do with the industry, with the economy. You got a bad life decision. Bad life decisions. All the time. Next time a homeless person asks you for food, offer them vegetables, watch them slap it out of your hand. AJ Wise says, I cash app the bum $5. He later requested $250. Mine says it's not the money, it's what you choose to spend. You make more money because you want more stuff, which is okay, but understand why. Mont says, I pocket watch only because I like money. I like to talk about money. I'm always interested in what things cost and how people make me. So a lot of people claim they want money, but don't want to talk about it. Well, you talking about it from the right lens. And try to watch people's money in order to hate on them. Mont says, not enough. Take advantage of of not having bills. Mont says, damn, that's lit. You had a good pops. He taught you and showed you and didn't stop when you hit 18. Scratch and Claimer says, I thank you, Mont. I appreciate you. I'm convinced that's your brother. That was liberal, Anton. Damn, you blew up in energy and confidence too. This is a show today. Appreciate you. Bag check. Salute to the bag chaser, says Charles Watson. You glue up. You 1,000% more confident and different swag. Starting with an advantage is irrelevant. We all have advantages and disadvantages. As a man, we don't care. Do the work with what you have. Plenty of folks who started with less have more. No excuses. If you don't want to compare yourself, mine is over here going crazy. to a successful man with a good upbringing, then you compare yourself to a successful man with bad upbringings. If that makes you feel better, either way, get it done. That's a fact. All of that is a fact, man. With Dylon's voice, Anton spitting with his sermon. Tech via Tony says, Brown Eyes says, I totally agree with you. I live the same way as you do. My children will have an awesome life because of my living standards. And at the same time, I'm living life. And Anton, Bishop FDR. This here is Kingdom Financial. Shout out to Bishop Frank Newkirk in the building. As entrepreneurs, we get ourselves in the holes. Bring yourself out on top. And as a CEO, that's where you shine. You are paid to solve problems. Those who come out on top were made for this and embrace it. Sometimes I go through my old videos and I see how things were when I was in corporate America and all of that other type of stuff. It's tripped out to see it, to watch it play out in real life. Very tripped out to see it. Very, very tripped out. Looking at when I was in corporate and all of that other type of stuff and going to games and everything. It's pretty tripped out, bro. Crazy videos where I bought my first Rolex, motorcycle life. It's a video where I was negotiating deals, and it's insane, bro. It's crazy to look at and to think about some of this old content that we sometimes go.
What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. It is Friday, November 4th, 2016, and I'm gonna have a long logistics and efficiency, doing things smart and wise. Just go from there.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Y'all set? You ready?
Locks aren't changed.
What? That I have a delivery coming.
He's getting the locks like
10 and 12.
Okay.
It's cheaper to get money orders than it is to get cashier's checks.
How much are the money orders?
59 cents. Cashier's checks is expensive.
Yeah, they're usually what, $20?
Yep.
All right. Bob called me right back. He already knew the lock was not changed. He's sitting at the locksmith's. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, send me that one.
Yeah, that's what
yeah, perfect.
That's the deliveries at.
Chicago, Missouri, Tennessee.
Jesus. Tennessee? Yeah. Most of this stuff is mine, I'm guessing.
About 60% of it is. I'm just worrying about this door. That's what I'm worrying about, getting it through this door.
I'm not a mover. This is why you spend money on professional services. Got my keys finally, getting this equipment in here, and we're just going to keep it moving, baby. Excited. Man, you work hard, man. How much you think it's gonna go for?
I don't know. I don't remember what it is. I think it's an 8 or a 10 though.
Okay.
Might be a 12, but I think it's a 10.
Still got to get that in, but I got my guys coming to take care of that, and we all.
That's my boo.
Set. Have a good one, guys. Moving forward, man.
I'm in student council. That's my boo.
But y'all didn't even have student council. Y'all was so old.
We was old, so we didn't have student
Right.
council.
What do you think this is? All people. I mean, every.
I bet you didn't have.
age group has
Bet you didn't have lotion.
Yes, I do.
All right, well, I'm about to lock up. I'm about to lock up and go.
You want me to just call it in and pick it up, or what?
That's up to you. What toppings are you getting?
No, let's do it.
What do y'all want?
Barbecue chicken.
It don't matter.
What do you want? Banana peppers and pineapple?
Yeah, that's fine. Barbecue sauce. Council member being crazy. How does it feel to be on the student council, Leslie? I don't know, Les. I don't think you should be over there. The sign looks pretty mean. I don't want you to get electrocuted. Nah, you fine. Come on. Come down these steps, though. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, my Jesus. With your leopard print purse. It's been a long day so far. Make sure you be awesome. About to head back to the cribbo and get some work done. I got an app to develop and a website to build. logo to create, the whole 9 yards. Hustle is real. The hustle is real. Such is life. Such is life. They don't want us to win. They don't want us to win. They don't want us to hustle. They don't want to see you dropping your daughter off at Taekwondo. And then 18 years later, she's still doing Taekwondo. They don't want us to document building the businesses and investing in ourselves. They don't want us to give you the game on what your life experiences is that allow for you to get to the place that you are today. They don't want you to be a great father, to play a role in your daughter's life and to be spending every day, even when you work in your daughter. You're still dropping her off at Taekwondo. She's still coming up to your businesses. She's still coming up to your job. They don't want that. They don't want that. They act like you just popped up yesterday and you woke up and you said, oh my God. They didn't know that they say that you didn't get it out the mud, that you a trust fund baby, that somehow, some way that you come from another country and you got a leg up on everybody else. And that's why you think you're better than everybody else. They don't want it. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that you was actually, when you give them advice on how they were supposed to operate in their children's lives or all of that stuff, they don't want to know none of that. They don't like that.
Hello.
Yo, I'm about to get off the live stream. What's going on?
They're on match 119, and Leslie is match 123.
All right, I'll be there shortly.
Okay.
Bye. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.